Did you not? I do use that song whenever I work out. I absolutely love it. It gets me pumped up right before the show. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Not So Pro Fantasy Football Talk. It is Saturday, and if you guys are like 90% of fantasy football users, you guys are freaking out with all the news that just came out, not just this past week, but all the news that's just flooding in today. And a lot of quiet news too. Like there's some that's kind of like sneaking in there, like Amon-Ra St. Brown now being doubtful. I know we got that notification yesterday, but a lot of people, it was just kind of like under the radar, right? Because nothing really happened to him. We don't know what it is. There's a rumor going around that he's going to have to undergo surgery. He's going to miss 2 to 3 weeks. You know, what's going on? What should we do? And a lot of people are freaking out. Hey, I'm going to play Michael Wilson. I'm like, hey, let's calm down. All right. We don't got to go that far. Okay. Michael Wilson it's for those deep leagues. Gibbs, yes, we just got that notification right now that Gibbs is doubtful. Now, whenever you see a player go from healthy to questionable to doubtful to out, I mean, you got to keep an eye out on that, right? But doubtful is like a silent fart, you know, quiet but very deadly. I mean, this is something that you hate because you have that sliver of hope. You're like, oh, I mean, he's gonna come back, right? It doesn't look that bad, but more than likely, he's not gonna play. Vince, are you struggling with any guys right now in your fantasy leagues that just are doubtful all of a sudden?
As of right now, I do not have anybody that's doubtful in any of my 4 leagues, which is amazing to have. But I have been struggling with Austin Eckler in 2 leagues, so that was like my doubtful situations the past 2 to 3 weeks. But other than that, I mean, I've been good. But I know a lot of guys are like, "Oh my God, Jonathan Taylor! Oh my goodness, Cooper Cup!
Cooper
Oh
Cup is
my,
back. I need to
yeah!"
start
Like
him.
there's a bunch of like I think this week is going to be either you start someone and they don't do good, or you keep someone in and they do amazing. So like it's going to be a lot of people like, "Oh, I should have started him. Oh, I should have sat him." It's going to be an interesting week.
As I said, previous streams before, every time we do a live stream, we're trying to get something going. Okay, so if you are here in our live stream and you put down a comment, put down hashtag NSP, we keep track of where we put hashtag NSP to automatically enter you into some of our giveaways that are coming up. For example, we have a huge giveaway that we are announcing Monday. The shipment is coming. It's an autographed helmet, football, jersey, something by a current star playing right now. We're doing a huge giveaway. So if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. And for those of y'all who are subscribed, I know these two guys, Mr. Prune and Alex, thank you all so much. Appreciate it. We're coming a long way. And now we're just halfway towards our goal. Alex with the question here says, I'm going to have to start Wilson and McLaughlin this week because Higgins and Gibbs.
Wow.
Ouch, man. That is tough. You know, Higgins, we got the news last week, you know, with the fractured ribs. We knew he's going to miss some time. Yeah, I know the fantasy apps, they like to play with your feelings, right? Either they're late on it or they say, oh, that he's questionable. If it's cracked ribs, he's going to be missing some time. You know, for sure a week. You know, and there's some tough guys out there like Vince over here who could just run through it. Then Gibbs, that was kind of out of left field, right? But does this mean you pick up the next guy up? No, not at all. Montgomery's going to get the full workload on that team. But that's just very unfortunate news. I'm on a similar boat. My most drafted player this year is Amon-Ra St. Brown. That is my most drafted player, and he is doubtful, and I highly doubt that he will be playing. I hope he does. I saw a recent interview where he's like, I just ran my fastest speed. I feel good. You know, optimistic about Sunday. If no news is coming out right now, I'm pretty scared, you know. Big Money says, I have Pollard, Cook, Kamara, and a chain. Chan. Achan.
A-Chan,
There it is.
something
I
like that.
always
Yeah.
get mixed up, dude. I like A-Chain a lot better. but whatever,
Me
not
too.
my name. Chan, 12-man full PPR. What three should I start this week? I'm thinking of benching Pollard. Oh, wow. You're thinking of benching Pollard. I get it, full PPR. You want to see James Cook out there, but we did see him come back to reverting to a 60% share in that backfield. I don't like that. I don't like that whatsoever. And it's kind of hard to say, hey, should I sit Kamara because 13 receptions, pretty insane. I know Derek Carr was injured, and I think that has a big part to play in that. But you're for sure starting Kamara this week, right, Vince? I mean, I know you're a big Kamara guy for fantasy.
Honestly, yeah, I don't like his matchup too much because they are going against the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken. I cannot remember, but let me go ahead and pull my stat sheet out here with who's playing against them today. Yeah, it is the Saints versus Patriots. So, um, I do think that Kamara will not get 13 receptions, of course, but I do believe that he's still going to be used. But if I were to play this safe, honestly, 100%, I'm going to go Pollard, Kamara, and A-Chan or A-Chain, whatever you want to say.
H.
And those guys are like solidified. You know, they're going to get you at least 10 points each. One of them is most likely going to pop off, get you something like 20 plus. So those are my safe bets there, honestly.
I think Big Money Joe's main concern about Pollard this week is that he's going up against the San Francisco 49ers, Vince. You got to put that in perspective over here. I don't think any running back has scored more than 10 points against the Niners, and that's a lot for, being a Niners fan.
Oh,
It is
really? I felt like there has been multiple running back score plus 10 plus points. But
I
again,
thought
I could be wrong.
I thought it was always around that range. I didn't think anything hit like 15 or anything like that.
Oh,
But
no, yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I think that's his main concern here. But in a full PPR, Cook does look good. I just don't like how he's sharing that backfield. And if you are in the comment section, don't worry, we will answer every single one of y'all's questions. I guarantee you. And if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 1,000 followers. We just hit our halfway mark. Huge giveaway announced on Monday. Alex says we start Wilson and McLaughlin over Dalvin, Akers, and Mingo, right? I hate this situation, man. And I said you start Wilson if you're desperate or if you're in a double flex 14-man league, right? And I think this is the scenario or the category desperate because you don't want to start Dalvin Cook. It is not his backfield. Cam Akers, who is Cam Akers? I don't trust him whatsoever either. Mingo coming off of injury, we clearly see that Adam Thielen is the go-to guy, and also DJ Chark gets his hands in the cookie jar as well. I feel like you kind of have to go here. I hate this scenario. I'm sorry for you, man. I hope they pull through. But yeah, what's the latest news we heard on Wilson, the running back for the Broncos here? Not
Oh, you
much,
mean
right?
McLaughlin? McLaughlin's the running back for the Broncos, I believe, the second
Yeah,
string.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
Wilson. Is he for sure out? Is he still questionable?
I'm not 100% sure. I have not kept up with those guys because I haven't in any leagues needed to get them. I've seen other people get them, but I haven't really kept up too much on what the deal is there. But for the Broncos, I think McLaughlin is kind of a decent start, not too much. But if you're really having troubles there, I think you should be getting about 5-6 points, on the high end if he maybe scores a touchdown for some crazy reason, because I know they are playing up against a decent playing up against the Jets. So I know that the Jets will probably most likely give up quite a bit of running yards, could give up a touchdown to McLaughlin. So I think he's a safer play. Wilson, are they talking about the receiver Wilson?
Oh, the running back who got injured, Javante Williams. I mean,
That's
sorry.
Williams, yeah.
Yeah,
So I think they're
Williams.
talking about the wide receiver Wilson from the Cardinals.
Yeah,
I
he's
think,
talking about
yeah, yeah.
Michael Wilson.
Okay, yeah. For him, I'm not 100% sure. I don't keep up with the Cardinals at all. I think the only guy that is on my radar there is Connor and maybe sometimes Ertz, just because I like tight ends. But Wilson and McLaughlin, I mean, honestly, my safe zone there is about 5 points for each of them. So you shouldn't be expecting too much from them. So I'm sorry that you are in that situation, but yeah. But let's get on to this next one. Cameron B says, "Hey fellas, full PPR. Would you flex London or Rice? I know neither option sounds great." in in my honest opinion, I think I might start London just because I think this game is going to be a tight game where there's going to be a lot of passing. Drake London will most likely get a touchdown opportunity against the Texans defense. So I think definitely I would start London. Rice is a good second for me, but I still think I'm going to give the edge to London. He hasn't produced like we've wanted him to this season, but that's mostly because of Bijan. But yeah, I think London has more opportunity than Rice. Rice does play, about a little bit less than half the snaps there for Kansas City, or a lot less actually. I think he's like 30%. So I just
At
think London has
46.
a lot more opportunity. So I would
Yeah,
go
for
London.
sure. I mean, they're both ugly decisions, but I don't trust any wide receiver when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs, unless the name is Travis Kelce. I know he's a tight end, but he's the only consistent guy in that offense. I'd probably take a risk and go London. I might have to do the same thing in one of my leagues, just because Amon Ron is out, and I'm on a super flex leagues, and it's nasty right now. And I got Jahmyr Gibbs in that super flex league as well. So I got Amon Ron, Jahmyr Gibbs both out. I got Rashad White on a bye week, and also Mike Evans on a bye week. It's a struggle time, baby. KJ says struggling with the decision to play either Christian Kirk versus Buffalo. There's a slot corner is very good, but Kirk gets volume, or Tutu Atwell against a weak Eagles secondary, but Cup is back full PPR. I feel like you gotta go with Christian Kirk here. You got to go with the hot hand. Tutu Atwell, we talked about it. Once Cup comes back, this may be a compromised game, but going forward, Tutu is going to be, I'm going to say, irrelevant in fantasy football. Anyone should be considering him unless you're in a super deep league. What do you think here, Vince?
Honestly, man, I've been saying it for like the past 2 weeks. I'm riding with Christian Kirk until he shows me
Yeah.
otherwise, and he hasn't shown me otherwise since that week 2, when he scored 21 points and then 15, 16. So I think Buffalo does have a decent defense, and they will hold the Jacksonville Jaguars to a not too many yards. I think the Jaguars will lose this one quite drastically, in my opinion, but Christian Kirk still gets his touches, and that's all we care about in fantasy. I don't care what the team does, but as long as Christian Kirk still gets those points, and I think Buffalo doesn't have a strong enough cornerback and defensive back crew to stop him, in my opinion.
True. Mr. Peru 1951 says lineup this week is Burrow, Hall, Josh Jacobs, JJ, Watson, Ferguson, Addison. My bench is Jonathan Taylor, Ramondre, Goff, and Goddard. Does my bench fit in anywhere? I know a lot of people have the question with Jonathan Taylor, right? But it's just too soon. You don't want to go in there. He's not questionable. He's a full on participant health wise. But you don't want to go in there. I just realized my background is kind of messy. I'm so sorry, guys. But you don't want to go in there and him having an unexpected snap count. That's the only thing I'm afraid of. But I like your lineup. I'm just super scared about Burrow. But I see you got Goff. This week, I did pick up CJ Stroud off the waiver wires, and I'm starting him over Joe Burrow. But, I mean, like I said in my notes this past week on the buy low guys, I had Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase. If the Bengals can't get it going these next 2 games, that's going to be it for them. They're done. And I think you'll have droppable players by then.
Yeah, man, I think I kind of agree with you, AJ. I think I would start Goff over Burrow just because they're playing against the Panthers. I think there's a lot of opportunity for him to score quite well against the Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, our Arizona doesn't have the greatest defense either. Like I said, if this is a game where they get going, it has to be this game. It has to be. But like I said, I think they're both in the very similar predicament because a lot of people got stood up by Goff last week. It was disgusting.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Matt says, let me know what you think of this dynasty trade. Where are you at, Matt?
I think he's down there, yeah.
2024 first for Elijah Moore and Burks. If you would have asked me this last year, I would have been like, hell yeah, that is awesome. But I'm losing more and more faith when it comes to Treylon Burks. I really want him to get it going. And I feel like next year is still going to be a developing year for him because next year they're not going to have Ryan Tannehill. I can guarantee you that. Not going to have Ryan Tannehill. And if it's Will Levis or Matt, was it? I didn't even know. It's a mess over there. They're going to have to get acquainted and adjusted with the wide receivers over there. And by that time, they maybe draft another wide receiver. and that will be the wide receiver one. And Traylon Burks may be like that guy who's forgotten or guy is still trying to grow and develop. I'm very disappointed in Burks. I like Elijah Moore. I think he has a lot of upside out there being with the Browns
The
now.
Browns.
Yeah, and I think he's there for for a few more years, and he's going to be the wide receiver one if they can't keep up in the contract situations, which I don't think they will. But not bad. Well, first I think it's a little much,
Yeah, just a little bit.
but we know how
But we'll
difficult
see.
dynasty could be. Yeah.
Yeah, he could be the smartest man in the world by getting Burks, and Burks pops off next year, or he could, lose this trade. We don't know.
Tony Whaley says Kirk, Ford, Godwin, Mims, Jacoby, Jaleel drop for Cup. Drop for Cup.
So he wants to drop one of those guys for Cup.
Oh yeah. Okay. So he's in the scenario where he has Cup in his IR, right? Because I'm going through that with JT and Cup. We're in so many leagues. We're just in every scenario here. But Kirk, you keep Ford. I think at this point you have to keep him, right? Just because it's not a pretty situation in the backfield. They are going to share the ball, but you got to Godwin, Mims, Jacoby, Jaleel. Drop for Cup. I think the two that you could be able to drop are the Broncos players, man. Marvin
Yeah.
Mims and Jaleel McLaughlin. Jaleel McLaughlin, if he does anything, at best he'll be the running back two for that team going forward. Not talking about this game. And Marvin Mims, I like him only if you're in a super deep league. But my notes on Mims is that hey, super deep league, good pickup, but you got to remember he is and will continue to be the wide receiver 3 for that team. Nothing more, nothing less. The wide receiver 3, the guy who every now and then, gets to have a cookie out of the cookie jar. Yeah. You
Yeah.
agree here, Vince?
Yeah, man, I think it would either be one of those guys, either Jaleel or Mims. That's the only one I'm comfortable with dropping. Godwin still gets a lot of production, even though it's not a lot. It's very consistent. And I know Ford is going to be that main back for the rest of the season unless something tragic happens to him. So we're knocking on wood that it doesn't. But yeah, I agree.
Sir. Just letting y'all know, if you guys haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. We are doing a huge giveaway for all of our subscribers, so you have to be subscribed to enter the giveaway. We're announcing it on Monday during our live stream. And if you're in the comment section, don't worry. We answer every single comment. Don't you worry about that. Moving forward, we got a fun question here. It says, if Russell Wilson had a superpower, what would it be? Broncos country, let's ride. I don't know if you call this, or go ahead, Vince.
I have a very funny twist on this because I think Russell Wilson already has a superpower, and it's his ability to make up a persona and keep it going for years and years. I know we're hearing like a lot of drama on him, but I think his superpower would be something like taking over someone else's personality.
The
That's
split
just me.
personality, like split, but
Yeah, like
superpower. I
split.
mean, you could do like a shapeshifter. There you go. It would be a great politician if he ever got into that. Well, I don't know his views on things, but we don't get into politics here. We can get to football politics, and Russell Wilson's damn good at it. Big Money Joe says 12-man full point PPR. Pick one to start: D Hop, Ridley, Judy, or Tank. I think at this point you're kind of scared to start Tank, right? But D Hop has just been real inconsistent, and I want to remind myself who the Titans are playing up against this week, and they are playing up against I lost them. Where do they go? Where do they go? Are they off?
Who?
The Titans? Oh, they're playing against the Colts.
No,
There you go.
and the Colts.
Yeah. I don't know why I kind of blanked there. But geez, I don't know. Who'd you go with here, Vince?
So I think my safe bet. I don't even know if this is a safe bet. But I think Judy gets the most like targets out of these people, just because Ridley is up and down for me. If he doesn't score a touchdown, I feel like he doesn't get double-digit points. But I feel like Judy has the opportunity to get double-digit points even without a touchdown. And in a game where they have to kind of win and make a statement against the Jets, I feel like Jerry Judy is probably the guy I would go with here. I don't like the matchup for Tank just because I don't know how much they're going to even use him. I think they're going to be running the ball a lot this game. And then D-Hop, the Colts have a pretty good backfield. So I'm not too sure how many opportunities he'll get, as well as, they're going to want to feed Derrick Henry. So I think I'm going Judy.
I think you kind of have to. I hate it. And the Broncos are going to be playing from behind almost every game. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot. Cameron B says 14 team, 14 team. I hate doing that kind of stuff. It mixes in my head. Full PPR 0-4 currently. Hey man, we know a couple people who are like that. But don't worry, we are here to help you out. Burrow, Bijan, Javante, Burrow. I can't stand Burrow right now. Javante, Devontae, Smith, London, Goddard, Flowers, Bijan Robinson or Brian Robinson. Sorry, you got Bijan and Brian. Nice. Elijah
Wow.
Moore, Charbonnet, Warren, Jones, JSN,
Say
Mims
Jones.
Jr. Any suggestions? Okay.
Honestly, I think it's his wide receivers for me.
This is wide
Uh,
receivers, really?
yeah, just because I like Flowers, but I feel like London is the guy who's possibly not consistent for him. But honestly, I feel like Javante getting hurt too is gonna hurt him.
Javante getting hurt's been hurting you. London being consistent's hurting you. Burrow being a bum is hurting you. And that's probably why. Like, it's just unfortunate events, right? Where those games, like last week where Joe Burrow had like what 3 points. It was just disgusting and really hurt a lot of fantasy owners out there, such as myself. But going out there, and would you drop any of these players for Rashid Rice? Personally,
Probably Warren.
Warren, yeah. I mean, Warren's cool. It's cool to get excited about Warren because he's splitting half, right? It's right down the middle, 50-50 with Najee Harris, but really they just haven't been producing. The offensive line cannot hold up. And are we going to see one of them, pull out the lead as the RB1? It's not like Najee Harris is trash. He's still getting some good runs out there. So I don't know what exactly they're doing over there. Maybe they just can't get along in the locker room as far as coaching staff and Najee. So probably Warren. I don't think he'll be at risk. I know it's a 14-man league, but Rashid Rice, I'm not the biggest fan of him out there. I'll try to picking up a quarterback to start off with, right? Like I said, if Burrow can't get going this week, that's going to be tough. And start getting some trades out there. You could trade Bijan. I know it's not ideal, but you could trade Bijan for 2 stud guys, whether it be running back, wide receiver, or double wide receiver, whatever you feel more comfortable with. But get in the trade game because waivers are scarce. It's pretty
Yeah.
bad. Caleb says, "Gig 'em. Are they winning right now?" I got the game going on right here in the side. But I think Texas lost today too. Geez,
Oof.
man. But yeah, there's tied 17-17, A&M and Bama. So Valon Fleming says, due to injuries and buys, I need to flex one. Full PPR, Jameson Williams. Oh, we're already.
Oh gosh.
Jameson Williams, Josh Reynolds, Josh Downs, Zay Jones, Zeke, Algier, or do I get nasty and flex a streaming tight end after Logan Thomas played well? We've seen some guys do that, right? We have.
I did
I
it.
was this guy's done it. I'm more than willing to do it as well. But I'm going to knock off Algier. I'm going to knock off Zeke. I'm going to take those guys down. Jameson Williams is his first game. I know it's not his first game. I'm saying that it's his first game because last year he was very limited in the games that he played because injury and then suspension and stuff like that. I'm gonna say let's hold off on Josh Williams. I'm stuck between Josh Reynolds and Zay Jones, and I think I'm gonna go Zay Jones as a safer pick because he is the wide receiver one out there oh sorry, I'm thinking about Zay Flowers here. I might just
Yeah.
risk it and go Josh Reynolds. That's
I,
just me.
I think that's what I'm gonna do too. I don't think that Jameson Williams is gonna eat up into too much production of Josh Reynolds because in my opinion, I think Josh Reynolds right now is playing like kind of half and half with wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. So he's getting about 70 to 80% of snaps. I do not think that Jameson Williams will eat too much into that. And I mean, he's just been consistent. What it do,
What it do,
baby?
baby? Kevin, aka K Dizzle. I love the name. That is awesome. What's going on, Reed? This is our third and final member of the NSP team over here. So I'm glad we could all be here to help you guys out. It's a tough weekend for some fantasy football. Kevin, aka K Dizzle, has a question. I do want to say, if you guys are in the comment section, please, be patient. We will get to every single question. I promise we will get to you guys. And if you guys haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. On Monday, we will be announcing a giveaway for our subscribers. So yes, you have to be subscribed in order to enter the giveaway. huge, by the way. It's going to be autographed memorabilia. We spend money that we should be spending. It's such a small channel. I don't know why we do it, but we do it for you guys. So Kevin says, on to week 6. He's going to week 6 already. DJ
Jeez.
Moore bet me over, spanked me once on each cheek. I went to town. And, it quite surprised me how many players, because I talk to people at work, people ask me questions and stuff like that. How many people started both Justin Fields and DJ Moore? I'm like, wow, like the Ghana's on you, right? That's game over. Yeah. So on to week 6. You already had DJ Moore. Congratulations on your win. Thanks for flexing on us. Alex Stiver says, non-fantasy question. Y'all buy a Powerball ticket? Jackpot is at 1.4 billion. Dang. You know what? I feel like I haven't bought it yet. I should probably go out there and get one. Or you guys could gift me some. I'm not gonna say no to that, but whatever. 50 thrust. Talking about DJ
Real,
Moore and how
bro.
many thrusts he had. Big Money Joe says, thoughts on starting Dobbs over T-Law? What?
I mean, it wouldn't be the worst because I know I have T-Law in 2 leagues, so I know that he's super inconsistent. And I think right now Dobbs has been one of the most consistent quarterbacks as of the past 3 weeks. That first week was an outlier. He only had like 1 point, I think. But after that, he's had 25, 17, 23. And he goes against Cincinnati. So they don't have the best defense. I think Dobbs can still keep it going. Just because he's passing the ball quite well. I think his completion percentage is actually pretty decent in the NFL at this point in time. It's hovering around like high 60s to 70s right now. So I don't think it's a bad thing, but it's really hard to sit T-Law because you never know what type of game he's going to have.
Yeah. I know I had Josh Dobbs as one of my my waiver wire pickups. That's mainly because he's available in almost every league. But I like T-Law, and you got to go out there with him. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if he went with Dobbs, but I think I'd feel a little more. I'll be able to sleep better at night or tonight starting T-Law. Would you agree there, Reed?
Yeah, I would do a T-Law.
Mr. Prune says, should I trade JT and one wide receiver for Devontae Adams? Does Devontae Adams' injury affect the trade at all? At this point in time, right now, Mr. Prune, yes, you do. Devontae Adams is a monster. He gets the targets, he gets the receptions, and the yards after catch, if you don't know what that means. But I think you're a tad too late, Mr. Prune, because tomorrow's Sunday, I don't think anyone wants to touch their fantasy lineup. This is the time where everyone's like, okay, leave me alone. I'm set. And no more trades, no more waivers. I'm cool. I'm cool. I just need to know who to start, right? But everything's going to change after tomorrow as far as Jonathan Taylor. And that is everything. Whether he's limited on snaps, whether he plays, whether he doesn't play, everything would change. His values could either go to skyrocket or plummet even more. So we'll discuss that after Sunday. We'll give you some pointers on what to do with him and how to take advantage of any situation. Tony says, thanks, guys. Hey, that's what we're here for. Like I said, if you guys are in the comment section, we will get to every single question. Don't you worry about that. If you guys haven't yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Or if you want some outside help, join our Discord. It's an absolutely free app. A lot of our subscribers are there, and we answer questions on there all day, all night. The link is in our description. Check that out. Rave, what's up? This is one of our main guys out here. We like to call him Rave and not Zach because we don't like to talk about Zach. Says, hot take, Jonathan Taylor is not going to do well this week. Don't start him. Tennessee run defense, and he hasn't played in a game in a long time. I think you hit the nail right on the head, Rave. Tennessee, oh wow, Tennessee does have a very tough run defense, and like I said, a lot of people ask me, do I start Cup? Do I start Jonathan Taylor? I say, hey man, give it a week. I'll let you sleep at night. I don't want them to go out there limited snaps or just absolutely just piss the bed. And you be like, you told me to start him. We're not going to do that. Are you guys taking that risk this week, Cooper Kupp or Jonathan Taylor?
I would take the Cup risk. I just feel good about it. Jonathan Taylor, I think the whole signing is going to be a complete flop. Am I muted or something?
No. Inside joke.
Vince is making fun of me in the back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would 100% take Cooper Kupp this week. He just launched that podcast with Matthew Stafford, 9 and Dime. He's feeling good. I think there's a lot of good vibes. He knows the offense so well. He's going to stick right in there. Jonathan Taylor having a piss off camp where he was being a baby. I don't think he comes back for another 2 or 3 weeks, and even then, he's not going to be that good.
Wow, that's a hot take right there. Kevin K. Dizzle says, Mr. 49ers, I think Cowboys get it done this week. But what a game we got on Sunday Night Football. Yes, what an absolute game. This is going to be the most watched game so far this season. I can guarantee you that.
Yes,
this
that is
rivalry,
true.
this story has been going on for years, for decades. It's out there, and I'm so excited for this game. Of course, this is probably the game that I hate more than watching the Niners play against the Seattle Seahawks. Just because I live in Texas. So, yes, believe it or not, I'm a Niners fan. I live in Texas. And there is a lot more Dallas fans than there are Houston Texans fans. I'll guarantee you that. But
Yes.
yeah, we'll see what happens. I hope it's a good game. I hope Dak Prescott continues to be his crappy self, and we'll move forward. Mr. Prune says, "Are the Pats getting more than 4 wins this season?" You're asking the wrong person. Reed, answer this question.
I think so. I thought they were going to be about a 500 team this year. They definitely have lowered the bar there. I think 5 or 6 games, but that they really had to figure a lot of stuff out right now.
Hey, you got it, Cameron. That's what we're here for. Like I said, if you have any other questions and we're not live, join our Discord. The link is in the description below. You could ask any of those guys. They ask us questions all the time. And also the community helps out as well. If you want someone else's opinion, the community jumps in. They're like, hey, I would do this. I would do that. So we're here to help each other out. Alex Smith. Is this the Alex Smith? Brock Purdy, Joshua Dobbs, or Goff? So a lot of people are kind of turned off with Goff, right? We saw what he did last week, kind of pissed the bed. He really pissed the bed. Joshua Dobbs, not a bad option to start for fantasy football, but Brock Purdy. Do we see the Niners airing out the ball a little bit more since it's going to be such a great defensive game, right? We can't rely, or we didn't have to rely on him, but we can't just give the ball to McCaffrey every play and see what happens, right? We're not going up against the Cardinals. We're going up against Micah Parsons and that very strong defense. I don't want to sound biased here. So, Vince, who would you choose out of these 3?
So, in my opinion here, this is not even based on like NFC West rankings for me, but I just think that Dobbs is going to have the better game against Cincinnati just because they are very consistent in how their offense runs. I feel like the 49ers are going to have to change their offensive scheme this week against the Cowboys just because the Cowboys are a very good defensive unit. So just like the Cowboys are going to alter their offense against 49ers, 49ers will alter their offense against the Cowboys. So I don't know which way that's going to lean, whether they run more or whether they pass more. So that inconsistency there gives me my thoughts of putting Dobbs over Purdy. I don't know how many points it's going to be difference, but I think Joshua Dobbs will have the better week this week.
Mike 32 says, half PPR, would you trade Burrow, Saquon, and Waller for Hurts and Kamara? Don't have much faith in Giants offense players the rest of the season. Now, are we really convinced that Kamara is going to continue to be that dog, right? We see Williams with an injury out there in the backfield. So Kamara, he bit the whole burger. That was his burger. No one had a piece of it, not even a pickle. I hate pickles, by the way. But I think Saquon's going to be great. I like Saquon. He's been dealing with the injury. I get it. But he's kind of like I'm not comparing them to. I'm comparing the predictivity, right? He's kind of like a Christian McCaffrey for the Giants. He is the guy that gets the ball every single time. Pass, run, anything. He gets the ball. I don't like giving up Saquon, but you're definitely improving with Hurts because he is a touchdown stealing machine. And Kamara, you are losing Waller, but I hope you have another tight end in the tank. Would you guys take this trade?
I'm kind of impartial about it, honestly. I like the upgrade from Burrow to Hurts. I think that's great. Saquon to Kamara. I think it's a coin flip who comes out on top at the end of the year, really. And then you're losing a tight end. I'm not the biggest on Waller. I've said that before, but he's better than a lot of the other options. Unless you have a tight end on your bench, I don't think that's a good idea to trade him away. Because there's not a whole lot of great options.
So I understand why he wants to make this trade because he has Saquon and Waller, and if Saquon's going off, Waller's not. But in my opinion, I think if you can swing the possibility of trading Burrow and Waller for just Hurts, I think you do that. But I'm not too sure how this guy will like that trade, so you might have to up the ante there. But I definitely think you can play someone better than Waller, just because I don't think that offense revolves around him like people were thinking it was going to go this year. So I don't have Waller in one of my top 10 as tight end positions.
I do see that we have an emergency question here in the comment section. Emergency question. This has to be attended to right away. Mr. Prune says, have y'all tried the new Chick-fil-A sandwich? Might get it for dinner. Mr. Prune, please don't do it. Okay, you will regret it. I did not like it.
They have a new
What
sandwich?
is it? What
Is
is
that
it?
new, like the poblano, the Southwest? As a guy from
Oh,
the South, the guy who likes the flair with it. No,
it ain't
it ain't.
Southwest enough.
No, it ain't Southwest.
What does it taste like?
The cheese wasn't even melted. They had the shredded cheddar cheese, and they just like a mound of it. It was like the thickness of the
Ew.
chicken. They put it there with some type of sauce and peppers, and it was disgusting. I wiped all that crap off. But yeah, save yourself the money.
Jeez.
I don't know if that was an emergency, but
It was. He might be going to dinner right now. He might be on his way.
all right.
It's true.
ASD says, hey guys, can you help me pick 3 starters between these RBs in a full PPR league? They are Hall, Kamara, Barkley, and JT. I think you gotta wait on JT. I think you gotta wait. I think Hall should. If you guys saw my video this past week, the buy low guys, I said go get Brees Hall, and I think there's a chance where he goes absolutely nuclear in this game. He has the opportunity to, and then we just got word from Robert Saleh saying, "Hey, Brees Hall,
Snap count.
that snap count is gone. This is his team. Jets country, let's fly." That's exactly what he said, word for word. But yeah, I'll go just like that. I'll leave JT on the bench. Y'all agree here?
I agree.
Sweet. The Joker, hey, bear down, dude. Says full PPR, choose one running back and one for flex. Raheem, the Dream, Mostert, Devon, Achan, Calvin Ridley, and what are you doing? At
Reed.
Jacoby Myers.
Reed, tell him, Reed. Tell him who to
A-Chain?
start. Tell him who to start, Reed.
I'm gonna start A-Chain and
Achan.
whatever, and I'm gonna go. I think I might actually go Myers here.
Okay.
That's what I was going to do. I think Achan is going to be out there. He's going to get more and more reps as the wide receiver, running back 1. Raheem's still going to get productivity. Just if it's going to be a high scoring game, right? They're going to be scoring a lot of points, and they're both going to get some productivity out there. But you got to go with the hot hand. You can't sit down Achan anymore. I'm sorry. You can't. Until he messes up royally, like getting that new sandwich from Chick-fil-A, that's when you sit him. Calvin Ridley, we haven't seen week 1 Calvin Ridley. Jacoby Myers coming off of a week. A week. I think he should be able to go, be good to go. These guys did like my joke. I got a whole bunch of dad jokes. I'm getting ready. But Jacoby Myers, no, there's no news on that. Jacoby Myers, he should have Jimmy G back, and that is going to be a staple point for his production. With Devontae Adams possibly out or on a lower snap count, even with Devontae Adams out there, he is the wide receiver 2, Jacoby Myers, and he should be seeing at least 7 targets, and that is good enough for me to start my flex. K Dizzle says, would you rather Dak or Njoku on bench? Have Hurts and Laporta?
Yeah, dude. Start Hurts and
Is it a trick
Laporta.
question? Is this what's going on here? What is it? I'm getting questions for the back here. But I lost my point here, Reed. Jeez. Yeah, you start Hurts and Laporta. You go out there, you start Hurts and Laporta.
Yeah,
Don't trust
like
those guys. Rave says, shout out to former numbers Aziz and Niners, Aziz and Brunskill, both are studs. I told you, dude, Aziz Shire, he is a linebacker 1, whatever team he gets drafted to, and he is a stud, as you could clearly tell. Brunskill, it was tough seeing him go just because how scarce offensive linemen are, but good. I'm glad you are enjoying them. Ty says, what's up, dude? Have y'all tried the? Oh, we just went to that one. Ty says 10-man PPR: Fields, Pollard, Jacobs, Diggs, AJB, Andrews, Waddle. Bench: Jones, JT, Sanders, Dobbs, Charbonnet, Spears, Roshan, Wandale, and Elijah Mitchell. QJ, Zeke. Do I trade JT plus Dobbs for Keenan?
I think that would be awesome.
If
I
you
think
can
so,
swing
too.
that, I would take that. Yeah.
Yeah, because we've seen what Keenan could do. We haven't seen what JT could do, so he's still up in the air. JT could very possibly be a league winner, not through Reed's eyes. He doesn't believe in that, but through someone who likes JT, like me, right? I think there's a possibility that he could be a league winner. But we don't know that. And right now, that risk is a lot lower than getting Keenan Allen. So if you could swing that, because Dobbs is going to lose, not I don't say lose production, but he's not going to be the wide receiver one for much longer. Christian Watson's back, and once he gets going, he's going. Alex Smith says start 2 PPR: Calvin Ridley, Pittman, Hopkins, Adam Thielen. This is a toughie. This is a toughie right here. Calvin Ridley, I mean, we haven't been very happy with his production lately, right? So will he turn it around here? I know he got the early touchdown last week, but going forward, can we rely on him? Early touchdown last week, but still only 2 targets. I feel like it's too much of a risk to go there. Pittman, horrible week last week, could bounce back. I like Adam Thielen because you're seeing some type of consistency here. I know Reed's not the biggest guy in Adam
Who are
Thielen.
the Panthers playing this week?
They're playing against Detroit. Very tough
Oh,
defense.
okay, there it is.
Yeah, but that just means that you could definitely see them passing the ball a lot. It is a horrendous offense.
Yeah. I would lean here Ridley and then Hopkins. That's where I would go.
I'm reading on. Yeah, I'm leaning in Thielen and Hopkins as well, just because Calvin Ridley.
Oh, I said Ridley and Hopkins.
Oh, you said Ridley? You're gonna go with Ridley after a 2-target game?
I believe in Ridley.
Okay, I mean I can't say no there. I mean I like Hopkins a lot. I think Hopkins and Thielen should be getting the targets. Pittman, hopefully he bounces back. I'm in between. I'm in between those 3 right there: Pittman, Hopkins, Adam Thielen. I'm reading on the comments here. I'm gonna skip around here to Zach Butts. He says that sandwich tastes great. You're crazy. Ha ha. He says that joke was weak. That joke was weak. You get it? weak. He was feeding off of my okay. Jim Learnt says, would you make either of these trades? Half PPR, Puka for Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins for Mostert, or Pacheco? I think I'll try to get Pacheco in my league.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I'm skeptical about Garrett Wilson. I like him going forward. I have a little more confidence now. Puka, I still think he should be a factor for fantasy football. He's not going to be a top tier wide receiver, but at best he should be a flex guy, right? A mid flex guy. But for sure, try to go out there and get Pacheco. I'd rather have Pacheco than T. Higgins just because of the inconsistency over there with the Bengals. Even when T. Higgins was there, we saw Tyler Boyd getting a lot of targets. That's not fun. Not fun being a wide receiver over there. Not right now. Dylan Thomas. Should I trade McCaffrey, Waller for Achane, Kelsey, and Courtland Sutton? No, they're trying to rob you. I like Kelsey a lot, right? And he's going to be a league changer, or a team changer.
Mm-hmm.
But McCaffrey, you should be able to just say McCaffrey for those guys. And Courtland Sutton, I don't like. He's a wide receiver too. Jerry Jeudy hasn't fully, shaken off all that injury rust just yet. But you guys want to take this trade, would you?
I would not take that trade.
I feel like this guy has a very stacked roster in order to be able to trade away Achane, Kelsey, and Courtland Sutton. So I think he's trying to form a super team by getting McCaffrey. So I'm not 100% sure because I don't know how your league looks like, but if I'm trading that away for McCaffrey, I think it's because I have a lot of studs at the other positions.
I would need more if I'm trading away McCaffrey.
Kevin, I was thinking about something to say. I don't want to say it. Kevin says, AKA K Dizzle, would you move Kamara and one of Addison, London, Hollywood for Saquon? Like I said, I like Saquon, right? Kamara, we don't know. Could possibly be a huge game changer, but If I had to move one, I would probably either do Hollywood or London. Just because Addison, he does get the targets, doesn't always produce, but the targets are there. And if something would ever happen to Jay Jettas, maybe we're going towards the end of the season and Jay Jettas is like, hey, screw this. I'm going to fake an injury so I don't play anymore. I know I'm going to get paid somewhere else. And I'm not going to re-sign with y'all because I need to know who my quarterback is. Right. I'll probably do something like London or Hollywood. Reed wants him out of there.
Yeah.
But yeah, try to get Saquon on your team. But Kamara is not a bad option, but we'll see what happens when Williams comes back. This might be the only chance for you to do so. Jenna Ants. I have Puka and Ridley. Should I trade for a better wide receiver? I have Kamara, JT, Eckler on by. Oh my gosh. That's disgusting, Jenna. Shame on you. But yeah, you should definitely go out there and trade for a better wide receiver. Trade Puka, trade Ridley. I think the opportunity is there, right? But the production's not there. And I know it's only been through 4 weeks, but how many excuses are you going to make? I had to make the choice to be like, hey, I'm sitting Joe Burrow. I'm done. I'm sitting Joshua Kelly. I'm done. Herbert, freaking Justin Fields sucks and got him injured, right? But you gotta have standards for your team, just like everyone here, right? We got standards for ourselves. This is the standards for our team. You gotta reach this level. If not, go to my office. We're gonna have a talk or cut. Okay, so Colby Watson says trade away Diggs, Zay Flowers, and James Cook to get Bijan, Brees, and Pittman. PPR.
Trade away Diggs, Zay Flowers, James Cook. I don't think this is a bad trade.
It's not bad, but he's getting rid of Diggs, and he's not getting he's getting Pittman in return. He's trading away Diggs and Flowers. Cook, I don't mind. He's upgraded big time. Maybe this guy just needs, some more depth in the running back position.
Yeah. So I'm looking at Pittman here, and he only had one bad week, and it was this past week. Mm-hmm. I don't think that he'll have those too often. So I'm not upset at this trade because from what it looks like Colby's trying to get 2 stud running backs because he's probably having some running back troubles like almost everybody is. So I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at this. I think I would take it in the right circumstances.
Oh, this one. Jenna says, if I trade, who do I target? Talking about Puka and Ridley. Honestly, it's tough because there's not a lot of elite guys. Go out there, try to get Keenan Allen right now because he's injured. A lot of people are like, or no, he's not injured. Sorry. Try to go out there and get Keenan Allen. Some people are actually having him on the trade block, trying to test out what they can get. If not, try to get some sleeper wide receivers, I like to call them, some consistent guys, right? Kind of like Mike Evans. I like Mike Evans a lot. He's going through an injury right now, but when he comes back, guess what? He's still the wide receiver 1. He's not going to lose that job. I think it's impossible. He's a veteran on that team. But go out there. And I don't want to say Waddle. Would you guys say Waddle? At this point in time, I don't want to say Waddle.
I think with those people that she has, I think I'd probably go after like maybe a Devontae Adams. You could possibly get that. But for sure, either a CeeDee Lamb or a Devontae Smith, in my opinion. I think those guys will keep up their production while Puka's falls. And, of course, Ridley, super inconsistent. So I think if you can get one of those guys, you win the trade. So try those out.
For sure. Ty says, do you guys think Saquon plays? I think he does.
Yeah. I think in limited fashion. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think he does play. Rave says, am I screwed starting Chuba, Hubbard, and Spears because Gibbs is doubtful? K9 plus White are on bye. What do you guys think? Is he screwed?
It depends how strong the rest of your team is.
Honestly,
I don't exactly love it.
I don't mind Chuba. I think it's
that's
Spears.
the better of the two. Yeah,
I think it's Spears for me. But of course, if you have those two, I'm not too sure if he's talking about one of our leagues, but there's probably nobody else who's better on the waiver wire. So I think you just have to tough it out this week, man. Next week you should be great because K9 and White finally have their bye weeks over with. You can start them the rest of the season. It's just gonna be a rough week.
Just want to say shout out to Ty. He just subscribed. Thank you so much, my man. Like I said, stay tuned on Monday. We'll be announcing a giveaway, and you have to be subscribed to enter the giveaway. And that's going to be Monday, all for our subscribers. So thank you all so much for watching the show live and asking us these questions. We will get to every single question. Don't you worry about that. Big Trev says, pick one. Rasheed, Michael Wilson, Wandell, Boyd, Jaden Reed, Josh Downs, full PPR. Ooh, that's a fun house. Look at that. Who do we pick off of there? I'm going to go with the not so hot pick here. I'm going to go with Tyler Boyd.
Oh,
yeah. With Higgins down. Higgins,
yeah, with Higgins down. With Higgins down, Tyler Boyd was averaging 6 targets a game. And now with Higgins out, I do feel like that should increase just a bit. Even if it's just 8 targets this game, those are 8 opportunities for him to score points. And he's not a bad wide receiver. And they need to get their act together. They have to get their act together this game against Arizona. Not a great, probably one of the worst corner cores out there. But I don't know. That's me. I picked Tyler Boyd. I choose you.
I mean, it's not bad. Reed, what do you think about Jaden Reed? Because if you say that Jaden Reed does well this week, I think I might go with him over Boyd. But as of right now, I think I'm either with Boyd or, I think I'm with Boyd.
So I am also leaning towards Boyd. The thing with Jaden Reed, it's going to be hit or miss, especially with Aaron Jones and Christian Watson. We should see their snap counts getting higher this week. AJ, I think Aaron Jones should be a good start this week. More than hopefully 2.4 points.
15 points.
I'm gonna go the over on the 2.4 points. All right.
No, I'm asking 15 points.
Is my back against the wall right now, AJ?
15 points? Tell me right now.
14, okay?
14, we'll take it.
14, all right. I'll go with 14 because
he's gonna yell at me when he gets 13.
Dude, I was about to hit big on my bets, and Herbert was rolling, right? And then stupid Fields can't throw the damn ball accurate, throws it behind. Oh, I can't stand it.
It's gonna be okay.
No, it's not. It's not gonna be okay. I'm cursed. Now Monron's down. Big Trev says Ferguson or Goddard, full PPR, and Laporta or Andrews in standard. Real quick, I want to jump to the second part of this. I'm going to say Laporta, especially if Monron is out. If Monron St. Brown is gone, it's Laporta day, baby. You go out there, you start Laporta. Ferguson or Goddard, full PPR. You think Ferguson's going to score any points against the Niners, big dog? Huh? You know who we talking to? Go ahead, guys. It's going to be biased with me.
In my opinion here, I would go Ferguson just because I haven't been impressed by Goddard. I think they're starting to force feed Ferguson, so that's why I think this could possibly be all right. Because Goddard, they're not force feeding him over there. They have too many mouths to feed. The run game is good, so Goddard is most likely going to be blocking more than catching. That's my reasoning. Not because I think the 49ers are going to give up a lot of points at the tight end position because they have great linebackers and great safeties to cover, but I just think Ferguson has more opportunities to catch the ball.
Sweet. Like I said, you guys, if you guys are in the comment section, go ahead and just hold on a little bit. We get to every single question out there. If you guys want some outside help, join our Discord. The link's in the description. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. But I do like your explanation there, Vince. They have been using Ferguson a lot, and if you want to get in the Niners' head, you got to chop the wood, man. Little by little. It's not going to be big time plays against the Niners. It's little by little. Keep knocking them down. But you won't.
I mean, Fred Warner is going to knock him down. So
hell yeah, baby. I love Fred Warner. Savage Chris says, would you trade away Saquon and Devontae Smith for Diggs and Gibbs? PPR 12-man league. So Saquon and Devontae. I like Diggs, right? But Gibbs,
you're playing for late game for Gibbs.
Late game for sure. But right now, as of right now, since Gibbs is doubtful, I would wait one more day. If Gibbs does not play, his value just drops even more. And I don't think you have to give up that much. overall, if you're not needy in the wide receiver room, I'll say why. Or looks like you might be. So Diggs over Devontae for sure. Gibbs over Saquon, not so much, but he's a good flex. If you have enough depth in your running back position, I'll say go for it.
Yeah.
K Dizzle says, Dizzle here again. Just wanted to say appreciate all the opinions on different things. Anywho, Dizzle wants to know. I like this.
He sounds like he's like Elmo wants to know.
Anywho, Dizzle wants to know, can I still make the playoffs at 1 of 4? Got decent amount of points. I don't know if it continues up. Points for. Well, this is the thing, right? A lot of people are asking that question now. Hey, I'm 0-4. I'm 1-3. What do I do? Do I have any hope to making on winning the league? That's the thing. You gotta change your mentality, right? Don't have your mentality like, oh, I need to win this league. It's how do I get to the playoffs? And this is what you need to do everything possible to change the momentum of your team. You gotta go with if you're going for big hitters and you're 0-4, maybe you should stop doing that. Try to find the consistent guys out there. I don't know. Vince is like, maybe that's just me. What do you think, Vince?
I think the same thing. You know, every week I try to put the guys that I know are going to get me the points, and very rarely will I put guys at my flex who are the boom or bust, because I'm scared, man. You know, I'm doing well in my leagues. I'm not at 1-3. I'm mostly at 2-2 or 3-1. So I'm just trying to stay consistent.
Right.
So
And a lot of times, like especially this season, you don't see those big time fantasy players till later on the season, right? That's when they emerge. Right now, these guys are still trying to find themselves. Look at Jahmyr Gibbs, for example. You go out there. If you see me, that's why my waiver wire pick'ems. If you guys see those videos that we put out, I talk about Matthew Stafford picking him up off the waiver wire. He's still available because you know what? He doesn't get more than 17 points, but he averages 15 points a game. I got someone like Joe Burrow, who's had one game over 7 points, but he could either score 20 plus points or 3 points. Or I could just go with Matthew Stafford and get 15 points a game and not have to worry about that, right? Get your win and get out of there. And then we'll talk more strategy, more, opposing sides whenever we get to the playoffs. So your main focus, get to the playoffs. What's up, Chris? How you doing? Rave says, D-Hop, Olave, Garrett Wilson, and Diggs, Ferguson, and Olave, and Love.
This is his talking about the rest of his team when he was asking him I screwed with Chuba Hubbard and Spears. So is he still screwed, do we think, with having Chuba Hubbard and Spears as his running backs?
I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
I think it's just Garrett Wilson and D-Hop for me. Everyone else, I like it.
Oh, Olave crapped the bed last week, too.
Yeah,
had one reception.
I
get it.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen again just because Derek Carr's coming back. But, yeah, I mean, wide receivers and running backs is what's the problem there for me.
It's tough.
It's quite scary.
K oxide?
Calcium oxide?
Calcium oxide.
Right? Going back to the chemistry days?
Dude.
Ca oxide.
I know. Like, I was kind of afraid to say the name because I was like, man, I'm going to sound dumb here. I don't remember my damn table, dude. I only went to the 3rd grade. That was it. It says, roll with the Niners or Saints defense this week. Honestly, man, I'm here to give fantasy football advice. You roll with the Saints defense. They're going against a Patriots team that is still trying to find themselves. Mac Jones needs the confidence to be good in this league because we like to hold his hand and tell him that he's good and say that he's an awesome quarterback. And that's why. Okay. So, yeah, you roll the Saints defense. There's a chance where this is an absolute dogfight with the Niners and Cowboys. This is like, okay, who's the big dog in this division? Who's going to the Super Bowl? Basically, and I say between the Niners and the Cowboys, and I'm not including the Eagles because the Eagles have not looked good yet. I know they're undefeated, but they have not looked good in my book. But yeah, I'm going safe. Y'all agree here?
Yeah, I think the Saints have more opportunity to sack Mac Jones.
I get it. Yeah.
I traded Pollard for Diggs. Did I win?
Yes.
Elite for elite.
Yeah.
I like it. Diggs is an absolute animal, dude. I've been talking about Diggs for like the past ever since we started the show. Well, I talked about him before the show, and everyone's like, dude, he's old, he's washed. It's. I get myself Diggs every year. I try to. Now it's kind of impossible, right? But I try to. Heck yeah, Diggs is the best. Mr. Prune says, just got the normal Chick-fil-A sound. Heck yeah, dude. Yeah,
Should've
not
gone
only
spicy.
taking fantasy advice, but taking the Chick-fil-A advice too, dude.
Should have
Yeah,
gone spicy.
This is a good take right there. I like the spicy one better.
Once
I
you go spicy, you can never go back.
I was so bad at one point. I used to get 2 sandwiches every time I went to Chick-fil-A.
Dude, my brother does the same thing.
I used to be there. I used to do that.
I had to, like one day I was just like, no, no more. I can't do this anymore.
Is that why you don't do the 50 pizza rolls anymore?
I don't do 50 pizza rolls anymore. I try to watch the portion of how much I eat. Yeah, because I could get carried away. Kate Dizzle says, Dizzle has another question. Better hope the pass rush gets there, or 49ers pass rush better get home, or it's about to be CD's nuts in the end zone 3 times. DJ Moore. You know what? I'm trembling in my boots right now. Shiver me timbers. Just because I have CD Lamb. I'm very high on CD Lamb, and he hasn't done jack crap. Consistent guy, I'll give him that. But I'm not worried about CD Lamb. I'm not.
Yeah.
And the Niners have 3 guys in the top 10 as far as overall stats when it comes to defensive rush players. 3 guys.
Hey, so do we.
See, we're stacked. Don't talk about the Niners pass rush. Come on, man. Come on, dude. You guys have Michael Parsons. Who else?
Yeah, that's true. Honestly.
I'm not talking trash, by the way. Sorry. I get carried away sometimes. Cap for life. Remember you last time. Appreciate you coming back. Says, gentlemen, PPR league, flex spot, Rashee Rice or Jaylen Warren. Thanks, bros. Hey, thanks to you, man. Thanks for watching us.
So I think I'm gonna go Warren here, just because he's been the most consistent. But if you want a guy who's most likely or has the possibility to pop off, it's Rashee Rice. But I think that's a big if. So I think Jaylen Warren. That's just me, though.
Rashee Rice is going to get you 2 points or 16 points. I would say it's a 40-60 split. 40% is going to give you 2 points. No, sorry, 60% is going to give you 2 points. 40% is going to give you 16. Jaylen Warren shares the ball 50-50 split no matter what with Najee Harris. So 50-50. He gets 10 plus points. And I say 10 plus because they have a tough matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. I think I'd rather go with Jaylen Warren, honestly.
I would go with Jaylen Warren also.
Nice. What's going on? Going forward, Big Money says, do you think Kyrie will win his first game this week?
I haven't looked at his matchup.
I think so. I think he does. He's going against Benny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a good team. I looked at Benny's roster. There's not much he could do. I was thinking about contacting Benny, but hey, dude, do this, do that. But there's not a lot to do.
Dang.
I was thinking about it. Oh my goodness. Does Deontay Foreman intrigue anyone on a 14-man league waiver? If it's not super flex, no, not really.
So I say no. At the beginning of the year, I thought there was a possibility that Deontay Foreman would play over Johnson. But at this point, no. It's I don't think when he comes back off of the IR, I don't even think he's going to play. So don't do it.
Don't do it. The Zan channel says, thoughts on Aaron Jones for Gibbs, McLaughlin, and Palmer? You're giving up a first stringer for a second stringer, a guy who may not see 5+ fantasy points after this week, and Palmer, who will be the wide receiver 3 after Johnston comes in. That's the way I think of it. I don't know. I like Aaron Jones. He had a bad week. He was going through some injuries. He's limited last week, very limited. I think you're going to be much happier in the long term with Aaron Jones.
I would agree with that very much so.
Thanks. Dizzle, 104 squad is double flex, Hertz, Brees, Kamara, CD, ARSB, Laporta, Olave, Hollywood. Bench has London, Addison, Spears. Hunt got a ride with my dogs. I think Dizzle out. Hey man, Dizzle, appreciate you coming by. If you guys haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. We answer every single question. We really do. Appreciate you guys so much. But that's honestly not a bad team. Just bad matchups. I don't like Hollywood out there in the starting lineup, but not bad. Just hit up the waiver wires.
Yeah, man. I think earlier he said that he was scoring quite a bit of points. It might have been someone else, but it might have been K Dizzle. So I could see him scoring quite a bit of points, in my opinion. It's just he's had bad matchups. Yeah.
Pretty nice. And yeah, I am going to read the next one, by the way, guys.
Yeah, read it.
Brendan says, "Hey, why don't you just answer the questions and stop yapping?" Hey, bro. There's some things I can't say on this channel, right? But you can talk all you want. Go ahead. We'll allow it. We posted your comment. You're welcome.
Yeah, man. Ask us a question. Maybe we'll talk about it.
Yeah, ask us a question. Instead of just lingering around in the darkness, just like, okay, I want to get all this fantasy advice. Oh, shoot, they're talking about sandwiches now. I'm going to lose my week. I got spicy, by the way. Hey, sorry, Mr. Prue. We can't talk about sandwiches anymore. We got to talk about strictly fantasy football talk from
only fantasy football.
Only fantasy football. Sorry, Mr. Prune.
Football.
Sorry, yeah. So stop it with the sandwich questions. We're done. Okay.
We're also a drama channel. We had a whole episode on drama. Remember?
Hey, that's what you guys got to remember. Like, you look at this channel. What is this channel?
It's not so
podcast.
Pro. It's not so pro.
It's a not so pro podcast. Right? We talk. You go to the Pat McAfee show, and whenever they're talking about, who had this many beers, going to the bar, and who talked.
They're usually talking about poops and stuff, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. They're talking about life.
It's a podcast. This is what this channel is labeled under. Podcast. Right now, we're talking fantasy football, and we're answering every single question. You go to any other channel, small or big, they don't answer every question. They don't. And I know that because I tried. Before we started this channel, we have a goal for this channel, and this is what we're trying. We are a community-based channel. That's what we do here. Right, K Dizzle? Says, K Dizzle here, mixing up the sports a bit. 49ers like my Boston Celtics. When I'm I feel like he talks like that. That's why I'm talking like that. Okay. Go far in the playoffs, but can't get over the hump and get that ship. Let's hope both get it done. 2024. Hey man, I like the Celtics, right? Not bad. I'd rather have the Boston Red Sox, get their act together. They got a good team. We're all sports here. We like all kinds of sports, but football's our main thing. But it's true. The Celtics, basketball is a whole different story. I compare football with NFL with college football sometimes, but everything's just different as far as the way that the leagues are ran. I don't agree with all of them. But, yeah. No.
Who's that new player that the Celtics got through free agency? They traded for somebody.
I don't know. I feel like it was like a point guard.
It wasn't like Jaylen Brown or something like that.
They had Jaylen Brown already.
Oh, it was somebody they got. I don't remember.
Honestly, I don't keep up with the NBA as much as I should have. But yeah, kind of been dying out for me.
Steven says, half PPR, Atwell, Reynolds, Pickens, Michael Wilson, or Rashid. Pick one. Like I said, I think you have to go Josh Reynolds here. And this is if and only if Amon-Ra does miss. If he misses, he's currently the wide receiver too, but I think Laporta's going to be that guy. But I think you have to go Josh here. Are y'all going Pickens?
Atwell?
Heck no. No.
You're not thinking about Atwell?
Well, Cooper Kupp is in. You got Cooper Kupp, Puka, and now Atwell, and I just feel like it's going to be very limited.
I get you.
Even if Kupp is limited on snaps, they're going to force feed him the ball.
Yes, of course. There's going to be plays drawn up for him.
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I looked at Michael Wilson and his production the past 2 games, pretty dang good. Going against Cincinnati, I just think I might switch it up and say, if you want to take a risk, do it with Michael Wilson. We don't know if he's going to be getting those same points because the past 2 weeks, I think he's gotten 16 and 24 points. So it's pretty dang good. The only thing about his targets is just like they're inconsistent. So it's either he's going to do really good or he's not. So if you want to take a risk, go Michael Wilson. If you don't, go Reynolds. I want to see.
We're
Cat
one
for Life
comment
says-
away.
One comment away.
We're one comment away. Don't read it yet.
Okay, I won't read it.
Yeah.
Says, I have ETN Saquon. Do I handcuff Tank Bigsby or grab Mayfield? My only QB is CJ Stroud. Hey, man, I think I would like to handcuff Bigsby. I like to do these handcuffs as long as possible. I'm not known to hold two QBs. I'm not known to hold two tight ends, two defenses. That's just not who I am. I'd rather stream and risk it for a week, but I get it. CJ Stroud is still kind of like, can I trust this guy or what? But for damn sure, I'm not going to trust Baker Mayfield. Heck no. What?
He's doing
What?
well, man.
Oh, so you guys would rather have Baker Mayfield than handcuff Tank?
Didn't like a couple weeks ago you put on your headband saying, "Hey, he was a good waiver wire pickup." What
I don't know what
mean?
you're talking about.
So funny.
I would go Tank Bigsby though. I also agree. Unless it's like a great just quarterback to have as like stock on your bench, you should not have two quarterbacks. It just shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, man, I'd probably agree. I wouldn't mind having Baker on my bench, but I think you have more upside holding someone who could possibly play if there's a bad injury or if something happens within the family and ETN can't be there. You never know what happens. Everybody on every single team can play or they can't play. So Tank Bigsby is probably your best bet because I agree that Stroud is still a rookie, but he's been playing well. So I think you run with him until his bye week. And then, if at that time Tank Bigsby hasn't started, you drop him for a quarterback and you keep Stroud on your bench, Play it easy, play it safe.
All right.
Not reading that comment.
Yes, you are. You have to do it in your little voice you give to Dizzle.
Do it.
Do we really?
Yes, you have to.
This is the only comment with that subject that we will read.
Dizzle about to drop an absolute Oppenheimer tactical nuke in the cylinder very soon. It's brewing. Cool.
Those are the only type of poop comments we'll post there. Just because that's good content.
Cameron Junk says start Puka or Devontae PPR. Oh man, that's a good question right there. I know. I kind of want to go Puka, right? Because I know they're gonna have so many packages for Cup, but I still feel like Puka will be a factor in this offense. Or y'all going with Smith?
Well, he will be a really big part of it.
I'm going Puka.
You go,
I'm
Vince?
going Puka. Yeah.
Vince, what are you going with? Reed and I got Puka.
They're playing the Eagles, man.
And Sam Howell dotted them up.
This is true. This is hard just because we don't know. I think my safe pick is Devontae, but Puka is the guy who could still stretch the field and get all those receptions because maybe Cooper Kupp, is a little slow coming into the week. Who knows?
K Dizzle here says Drew Holiday, my friend, and Jason Tatum is the face of the league, top 2 and not 2 yard from the Dizzle. I want to see it.
I knew it was a point guard.
I knew it started with a J.
I didn't know that Dizzle was going to make so many comments. I'm tired of this voice already. But it's my own damn fault. It's my own fault. But I love the comments, Dizzle. If you guys haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. We are a small channel trying to grow, so thank you all so much for being here. Cat for Live says, "Do it, do the roar." I'm not gonna do that voice. Maybe someone else
Do
can
the
do
roar.
that voice.
Do the roar.
Cap says, "Houston defense or Lions defense?" Hey man, I don't think you join our Discord, right? But in our Discord, I release a waiver sheet, right? A blueprint sheet every single week. And I include defenses on there, defenses that are available. Both those defenses are in that list. And I was stuck between choosing Houston or defense because I like both of them, especially with the matchups they have. I mean, you have Houston going up against the Falcons, who just it was a dud over there in London. And then you also have the Lions, the Lions going against the Panthers, who have the worst offense, what it looks like in the league so far. So,
I think you flip a coin, honestly.
you can't go wrong, in my opinion.
It just depends on
I'm going
are the
Houston.
Panthers going to show up? Are the Falcons going to show up? It's a flip of a coin. But yeah, in my honest opinion, I think I might ride the hot hand here and go Houston. I think they're a little bit more consistent, but we'll see.
I don't think we can read. We had to read it. You gotta do the accent.
This has been sub, but to the other people in here, sub, don't hit the like button. Spank the like button. Like it's 2013 Margaret Robbie asking you if you want to come in for some tea.
Jeez. I love the voice because I don't know if you all watched the regular show, but I used to watch it with my I used to watch it with my brother, and you sound like the guy, the green guy. I don't remember his name.
Oh, Muscle Man.
Yeah, Muscle Man. You like?
Oh no, bro. Okay, this podcast is getting a little too. We're exposing ourselves a little too much here. Can't I trust Achan? That's okay. I mean, we're the same people everywhere we go. If you guys somehow meet us in the NFL draft, which we will be going to, if you guys want to meet us out there, meet and greet, or in some NFL games that you by chance are at, you see us there, we are the exact same person. But yeah, Cameron says, "Can I trust Achan?" I feel like you have to, right? I feel like it's wrong if you don't, right? It's wrong if you leave him on the bench. We had a situation like this last year. I forgot who the player was, but this guy is just 50 points 2 weeks ago, 7 points last week. I feel like it'll be bad if you just sit him. I feel like you have to. In the long term. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Reed.
I've said on the show, I think he's 100% start every single week until it proves me wrong.
Right. And, I said this pre-draft. I was like, you want to get Achan because I do believe he will be the running back one, towards the end of the season. But it was just a huge switch, right? So I do feel like you can trust him. Not with your life, though.
I feel like he's a certified 10 points for the rest of the season, except for his bye week, of course, because his snap percentage is just going to keep going up, in my opinion. It's going to hover around the 50 to like 65% because most will still play. But I just like him because they're using him in the pass game too. So I think that adds so much to his fantasy purposes and his upside.
Heck yeah. We have the SSN over here, and if you get that reference, please let me know in the comment section. It will mean a lot to me. It says, "I'm sitting Debo and Pollard for Jacoby Myers and Breece Hall this week." Jacoby, I'll start him over Debo. Breece Hall, I like Breece Hall. I think he has a chance to go freaking nuts in this game. Pollard, I just like his carries, his touches with the ball. I don't like that. I know he's going against the best defense in the league, but I think you're playing it safe, and I like it.
I like your decision making, 100%.
I like it more.
Okay.
Yeah. Achan looks like the real deal, in my opinion. Yeah, he does, right? Despite his size, I know everyone's criticizing him because of his size preseason, but this guy is legit. Kato says, "All good fun, boys." SS says, "I'm a Niners fan, so I am motivated to sit Pollard." Hell yeah, dude. Then do it, man. Like I said, I think Breece Hall should have a great game. But yeah, SS does agree with you, Reed. Alex says, "Hey fellas, is Debo for Cook and Kirk good? Hell yeah, go do it. Go do it right now. Don't let them think. Just go and accept it. Just do it.
Yep.
Yep.
Do it.
Hit the button.
The subscribe button first. It helps us, please." Joseph Tranny says 10-man PPR. Oh my gosh, my fiance's like, "We got wedding pictures soon. You better hurry up." That's all you want.
It's till 6 o'clock.
I know. But don't get married, y'all. Joseph Tranny says 10 team PPR. I'm 4-0. Traded Amon-Ra K9 for Bijan Higgins Thursday. Now I have Richardson, CMC, Bijan, Olave, Higgins, Cooper, Pittman, Flowers, Judy, Palmer, Ingram. League is saying I won the trade big time. I like Bijan. In a 10-man league, you want to have Bijan, right? So that's good for you, and you have a stacked team. It's good. Amon-Ra has a special place in my heart. He is the most drafted player out of all the fantasy leagues that I'm in. K9 good, but I'll definitely take Bijan over K9. I would keep Amon over Higgins, but looking at your team, I think you're pretty comfortable right now. I hope you do win, Joseph. I hope you do.
Yeah, I'm not against this trade. I don't like trading two number ones for a number one and a number two, and Higgins is that number two guy on the team, and he's hurt currently. So I wouldn't say you won trade yet, but it could prove us wrong. We never know. Maybe Higgins goes off once the Bengals get it together. Who knows?
But like I said, if you have CMC and Bijan, that is nuts, and I think they could just carry you to the playoffs by themselves.
Yeah.
Brad Budd says trade Burrow and Gabe Davis for Stroud and Nico Collins.
Touchdowns, baby. Touchdowns.
Nice, Brad. Yes. Ricardo Dominguez says, should I trade Kamara for Waddle and Pierce? I like how all of us just like, Okay.
I mean, I don't think it's bad because Kamara's how he's going to do the rest of the season is still up in the air. We don't know how he performs with Derek Carr because Derek Carr has liked Olave whenever he plays. Damian Pierce has been looking a little bit better compared to the first 2 weeks. But I don't know, man. I think it's a fine trade, especially if you're needing a good wide receiver, and I think Waddle could be that for you in some of the weeks. But yeah, I'm not opposed to it. Just depends on what you need for your team. That's what we always say.
Correct. Personally, I really like the trade. I mean, we saw Kamara have a monster game, right? And I do think he'll be consistent, but you got to remember Williams is not there, right? So that played a small factor out there. Waddle still has a lot of upside later on the season. Hopefully he picks it up on that high scoring offense. And Damian Pierce, he's kind of like on a roller coaster as far as getting 60%, 80% of that backfield. Let's see if we can find a consistency. And if he does, you definitely just won that trade. But I mean, you're trading uncertainty for people who have very high upside. It's not a bad trade. It's not bad. I like it. SS says, go Niners. Thank you. Hell yeah, man. Let's see what we can do tomorrow. Cameron Junk says, my running back, my RBs are Jacobs, Williams, and wide receivers are JJ, Puka, and Devontae. I don't know if I should start Achane over any of those.
I would start him over Williams.
Which Williams?
Kyron.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, Kyron.
I think he's talking about Kyron.
There's like three of them.
Yeah, if he's talking about Javonte, yes. If he's talking about Kyron, possibly. Because I don't like Kyron Williams' matchup against the Eagles. But
I would start Sean Sheen, whatever.
I think the real question would be who should be your flex? Puka, Devontae, or Achane.
This is true.
Because I could easily see Achane putting up more production than Devontae and Puka.
That's true.
I think that's the question right there. But yeah, let's keep on going. We got a lot of comments. Appreciate you guys. Like I said, if you guys haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. It does help us out a lot. And if you're in the comment section, we'll get to every single question, I promise. Or if you want outside help, join our Discord. The link is in our description below. It's an absolutely free app. Jenna says, I'm back. Who's mad? I'm mad. I can't remember the song. I tried. Jenna says, I'm back. Should I trade for Eckler or should I trade Eckler for receivers and keep Kamara and JT? What receiver or receivers should I try to get for Eckler? I think Eckler is a super sell high guy. If you are considering selling him, you can sell him extremely high. I mean, extremely. But what do y'all think here?
For Eckler, you want to get a lot.
Yes.
Because, yes, he's injured, but he's coming back. And before he got injured, he was doing phenomenal. So, I mean, if you want, like, one good wide receiver, I think a good guy to trade for is, like, either Tyreek Hill or Stephon Diggs or Devontae Adams.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
think
was thinking.
that's, like, the range for you.
Yeah.
But if you want two, I think you could get, like, Olave, maybe even Cooper Kupp if he doesn't do good this week. Because later on in the season, he should do good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe even... Nah, I can't say Keenan Allen anymore. Because, maybe.
Yeah.
There could be a possibility. Because
Mhm.
I think he just had that one outlier game where he was a freaking stud. But, yeah, there's a lot of guys you go after. Maybe even DK Metcalf, too, if you like that type of stuff.
So, I know it's not the most popular thing to do, right? I'm not the most fond of it. I like helping out people, but I've done this a few times already this season where if you join our Discord, people have sent us pictures of every person's team and their team. And they said, who should I get rid of and who should I trade for? And I take the time, I go through every person in that league and I do package deals and who you should trade for, who you should package up for who. If you want to go that route, I mean, it's available, but it's in our Discord. The link is in description. It's absolutely free. And we're not, supported by Discord whatsoever. I am going to head out, but these guys are going to continue the party out here. I got to go take wedding pictures. Like I said, go out there, get married. It's fine. You guys are going to have a good time. But I do want to shout out real quick, Mr. SSJ Visca 10 says he just subbed. Welcome to the NSP family. Stay tuned on Monday. We will be announcing our giveaway. It's a huge giveaway, and only our subscribers are able to enter. So if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. We will get to your question right now. I believe we're on K Dizzle. And with that, I'm going to hand the rock off to these guys. Hope you guys have a good time because unfortunately I'm going to be outside taking pictures, but you guys have a good one and good luck in your fantasy leagues.
At least it's a good weather day, AJ.
That is true.
Go take advantage.
That is very true. Appreciate ILY Pixie for joining the Discord. Thank you so much. Welcome to the fam. See you guys. You guys have a good one.
All right.
We'll do it. You want to do it, Reed, or you want me to do it?
You try to do the voice.
The voice? Okay. But the next time that he comments, though, I don't know if he commented again.
No,
if he does, though, you have to read it.
I'll try.
We'll see whose is better.
Okay. I kind of like the question though. I didn't read it.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Do you want to read it?
I just like the question.
Trouble. It's 6-1, AJ.
Okay, I'll do it real quick. Dizzle wondering if any of you find Jance Goff. Dizzle spanked a 6 iron 180 on a par 3. Almost got a hole in one. She was in there tighter than the nun's twat. Still searching for a first hole in one. I didn't read that last part. I'm so sorry if I offended.
We're no longer a fan.
I am so sorry.
We are like above rated R now.
Yes, that is awesome. I do play golf. I was nicknamed Mr. Hole in One in high school. True story. Ask these guys. I did make a hole in one at a regional golf tournament, but that's pretty awesome. Cool. See you guys.
All right.
Yeah, but unlike AJ, we've only played golf like once in our lives.
Yes.
But we're awesome mini golfers. So
we are mini golfers.
We love that. We love mini golf. We've done 2 Texas mini golf tours, right? Am I correct?
We've only done one.
Oh, we've done one.
Yeah.
But we've gone to like a lot of mini golf places.
Yes,
so.
all the good ones.
Cool.
All right.
Alrighty. Oh, you got it.
Brad Budd says, I'm 1-3. I have Burrow, Pollard, K9, Tyreek, Higgins, Njoku, Rashad White. So I think I need to do that trade. He's talking about the trade from earlier. Trade Burrow and Gabe Davis for Stroud and Nico Collins. Yeah, man. We said 100% that we like that trade. So if it after looking at your roster, I think it benefits you even more. let's go ahead and do it, man. Send the trade.
Yeah, man. And I know it may seem like you're double dipping, but Nico Collins is CJ Stroud's favorite receiver. So I think that's like one of the best double dippings you could possibly do. So do it, man. Do it.
All right. So this is our guy that just subbed. I think it's Super Saiyan Jay Visca. So hey guys, I am stacked at running back, KW3, Pollard, and Pierce. Or Brees, I mean. And my tight end is Njoku. My wide receivers are Pittman and Adams. I got offered, I'm going to assume that's Ridley, Kittle, Michael Thomas for Jerome, Ford, and Pittman. So I'm stuck. Yet.
So here it is. I don't like Kittle. I drafted him in one of my leagues. Don't like his production. I'm not saying Njoku is like 100% better, but his production is more consistent. So I don't like you getting Kittle. I think maybe if you can get someone else instead of Ridley and Kittle with Michael Thomas package, I think that's a fine bet. What do you think, Reed?
Well, he wants to tell us that Jerome Ford is on his bench. That's what I assumed with what you had at running back.
Yeah, I think if he can get someone else besides Ridley and Kittle.
I'm all for it, honestly. So
Sure,
this is how I'm thinking it. Okay, so Jerome Ford is on your bench. He doesn't, unless one of those other three running backs get hurt, you're fine. Pittman, I think he's a good wide receiver, but I think Michael Thomas and Ridley make up for it. Then he gets Kittle on top of that. All right, what you do with Kittle, because both me and Vince think he's inconsistent, you package that deal, you take him to somebody else, you trade him away for a better tight end or whatever you want. That's what I would do here.
Okay, I kind of agree with that. Yeah, but again, it just depends on your league. If your league is a league that trades quite often, yeah, you can do that. If they don't trade a lot, like some of our leagues, because nobody wants to trade with us, I would say don't trade for Kittle.
Yeah,
but that's just my opinion.
All right. SS says Miami is against the Giants. Saying that we, I forget who it was, but definitely started Chon. Yes, you are stud. We appreciate it, Super Saiyan Visca. Joseph says, I figured with my wide receiver depth, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex, that I could downgrade a little at wide receiver with Higgins and get the insane upside with Bijan and pair him with CMC for potentially a running back 1, a running back 2. Vincent, what do you think about this with his prior comment before?
Yeah, so I like it. I do agree that you have that 1-2 punch in the running backs area. So I mean, it is a good trade. You know, like we always say here on the channel, it's like what best fits your team. And for those who are watching, this was the past comment that he had. So now he has. I don't know if he said it here, but basically, yeah, he has Bijan and CMC. That's awesome. Yeah, so I would agree that it was a good trade. I probably wouldn't have done it just because, you know, I like having the number 1 guys rather than the number 2 guys, and I don't know how Higgins is going to translate the rest of the season after this injury. But we'll see. So not too bad, not too bad.
All right. SS says Eckler was my first pick, going off of somebody else's comment. So he says you should keep them. I would like to keep Eckler myself also. Hunter Bazin says, do I start Kyron Williams or Calvin Ridley in my flats? Vincent, what do you think?
Kyron Williams for sure.
Okay.
Calvin Ridley does have a higher upside than Kyron this game, I think, but I haven't liked the consistency from him. So this week could be 5 points, or it could be 15 or 16.
All right. Yeah. So Kyron Williams, if you want to play it safe, get that dub. But if you are desperate for points, go Calvin Ridley. SS says, what fantasy do you guys play? I'm on Yahoo. We used to be all on NFL, the app, whatever. We hated it last year. We threw a tantrum and we all left to go to Sleeper Fantasy. And I've really enjoyed it. I love the interface, everything about it. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, man. I don't know if yours is the same read, but I have mine in like a dark mode, so it's like super awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely would
Sleeper.
recommend Sleeper to anybody. Big
It's-
Money says big smile, AJ, because AJ's taking his little wedding photos right now. So make sure you smile, AJ. All right. Super Saiyan, yes, we already read this one. AJ Alvarado says, I'm the best at mini golf. I absolutely spank the competition. That's 100% false. I can tell you guys. All right. AJ always gets last. He always gets the drunkest. He does not do very well. Okay. Me and Vincent wipe up the shop with him. It's right, Vincent?
Exactly.
Yep.
We just like take a few strokes off of his score just to make him feel a little bit better.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
Eric says Puka or Nico Collins. Jefferson is his wide receiver one. He has a Chan at his flats. Also, Kirk Cousins or Richardson. 6-point
Ooh.
passing touchdowns and 5-point bonus with 300 yards. Thanks a ton. Thank you, sir, for commenting
Oh,
and watching. So first
that is
things
pretty
first,
cool.
Puka or Nico Collins, Vincent. I think I'm leaning more towards Nico Collins.
Honestly, with the matchup, I do think I'm going Nico Collins too. I don't think the Falcons can stop that CJ Stroud Nico Collins duo. So I think I'm gonna go Nico Collins, but I think Puka's a fine choice too. But I think
Yeah,
Nico
he's
Collins
a good
has the higher
choice.
upside. Yeah.
He's a good choice. All
Yeah.
right, so moving on to his second question. Also, Kirk Cousins or Richardson. So Kirk Cousins and the Vikings are going against the Chiefs, and Richardson and the Colts are going against the Titans. Titans have looked pretty solid. Kirk Cousins, he's been off and on a little bit.
I do like that 6 points or the 5 point bonus for 300 yards because Kirk Cousins has done that 3 out of 4 games.
I think I would go Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, because I don't think Richardson has even been close to getting 300 yards except for that one game. Let me go ahead and check. Yeah, he hasn't even been close. So his highest is 223. Yes, he gets you quite a bit of points from rushing and stuff like that, but I think Kirk Cousins is the more consistent passing guy. And you said you had Jefferson, so that's like a great duo whenever they score touchdowns. So it's 6 points for a passing touchdown, 6 points for a receiving touchdown. So that's 12 right there on just one pass to Jefferson. So I like it. Kirk Cousins it is.
All right. Thank you very much for the question. Reptiles Miami says CJ Stroud or Jared Goff. I'm going to go CJ Stroud. Hot hand, playing a really bad defense. I'm going to go Reptile or CJ Stroud.
Yeah, man. I think you have to until he proves us wrong that he can't keep this production up. I think CJ Stroud's a start.
All right. Alex wants to ask, I had to do some restructuring. Is Miles Sanders and Debo for Christian Kirk and James Cook good?
Ooh. So I think it's I like it because I think Christian Kirk has been consistently around the 12 to 18
Yep.
point range. So I
Mhm.
like that for Debo because Debo will be fluctuating. He's
Yes.
not always going to have more than 10 points because they have Ayuk there as well.
Uh,
James Cook for Miles Sanders. I
that
feel like
that's
it's
that's a
kind of a
downgrade.
lateral. I think it's a
Really?
lateral move, actually. Yeah, because Miles Sanders, yeah, he does get more points every now and then, but I feel like James Cook is a rising star there. Uh, I think he's averaging about 10 points. Oh no, I'm actually wrong. He's averaging about 13 points.
Okay.
So I think it's a good trade. I think you win the trade because of the Christian Kirk over Debo Samuels for me.
All right.
So I like it. I think it's an even swap.
All right. Super Saiyan Visca says y'all would rank Ridley over Pittman pretty comfortably. Ridley, you have more boomer bust. Pittman is consistency. If you want the big points and are willing to put them at your flats, Ridley's a good option. But Pittman, if you need those consistent above 10 points, what is he averaging, Vincent? Like 13, you said earlier.
For Pittman?
Yes, for who? How much is Pittman averaging?
Off the top of my head, without the 4-point horrible game last week, I think he's averaging like about 18.
So, yeah, we would put Pittman over Ridley, Super Saiyan Visco.
Yeah, I like Pittman over Ridley by a long shot.
Cool. He says, thank you all so much for the advice. Hey, we appreciate you for tuning in. If you guys have not yet, hit that sub button. We are a small channel, continue trying to grow. And every single sub, every single like, every single comment, every single view helps and counts. So we appreciate you guys. All right. So Vincent, you want to do the first one, or you want me to do the first one?
Yeah, man, I'll do the first one because he already commented. So in about 5 minutes, you're gonna have to do the next one.
Yes, go ahead.
And they're both about the same length. So Dizzle here. Just want to apologize in advance if I get y'all banned for the none comment. No, man, you're not. Trust me. There's way worse out there. Anywho, next year Pat's getting T Higgy. Need it? Need to speak it into existence. I haven't heard anything about where T Higgins might fall.
I've heard rumors about that.
You've heard rumors? Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't been on the rumor Twitter.
Well, the Pats are always in on every wide receiver. It just never happens.
This is true. I don't feel like the Patriots have a good wide receiver market ever. You know, they've had guys where they drafted and they stay there, like Edelman, stuff like that. But I've never really seen the Patriots have good luck with getting guys off free agency.
Like Randy Moss?
That's different. That's old Patriots. I'm talking about new Patriots.
That's still the same regime.
I guess, but 1 out of like the 15 that they've done, I mean, maybe this one's the one. You never know.
All right. Reptiles says, should I look to love Kyren Williams? Vincent, how do you feel about Kyren Williams?
I like Kyren Williams. At first, I thought it was going to be Cam Akers who was going to be the guy to score like this, but obviously I was wrong.
Yep.
Because they gave the ball to Kyren Williams, and Kyren Williams stole the show. I think with them shipping Cam Akers off, I think it gives Kyren Williams the full go. I think he's one of the only running backs in the NFL who isn't opposed by any running back two. There's very few, and I think Kyren Williams will be producing what he's producing the rest of the season as long as he's healthy.
All right. Joseph says, also, what's up with the Sun God's injury? Talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown. He says, Amon-Ra says, says no biggie, but it's kind of out of nowhere, and there's word it could be a hernia.
Ooh.
I have not heard that part of it. I've been basically living under a rock for the past 3 days with work, so I have no idea what's currently going on other than Jonathan Taylor signing. But yeah, I'm not positive what's up with him. Hopefully he gets healthy soon. Vincent, medical expert, NSP, what you got?
So I know he's questionable, and I think it's leaning like to almost doubtful. But so far he's still questionable. I haven't heard anything about a hernia because just like Reed, I haven't really been on Twitter looking at all the news. But yeah, I think he should be fine for this week. But if it is a hernia, that's a long-lasting type of injury, and that's really bad. So hopefully it's not a hernia, because AJ will be sad.
He would be very sad. He's going to be crying in his wedding pictures. All right. Dizzle with his last comment, and I'll read it. Dizzle here for one last comment. Wanted to say appreciate all the effort you fine lads put into the channel answering each and every question. Anywho, Manhattan Project about to commence down the hallway. Hey, we wish you the best of luck with that Manhattan Project. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, good for you, all right? Hey, but Thank you for all the comments, Dizzle. We really do appreciate it. Great comments all day long.
Yeah, man. Make sure you come back.
Yeah. Hunter says, do I start Zach Ertz or Dallas Goedert this week? Oh, go ahead, Vincent, our tight end specialist.
So I think Dallas Goedert is like a consistent 6 points. You know, he has the outlier game where he gets like 10 every now and then. But I feel like Zach Ertz just gets more productivity, especially the way Joshua Dobbs is playing. Yes, they're having a little bit more success with some of the wide receivers there with Michael Wilson, but I still think Zach Ertz gets quite a bit of targets. So, in my not so pro opinion, I think I'm going to go Zach Ertz here just because of the matchup. And I think he can still continue to get either 8 to 11 points. So, that's my thoughts here.
All right. There we go. I'm going to go with whatever Vincent says for that one. All right. Brad Budd says, having doubts about this trade, boys. What if Burrow turns it around? Dude, there's the chance that he's going to turn it around, but I thought by week 2 or 3 he was going to turn it around. How many more games do you need to lose before you move on? Listen, I am ready. If I had Burrow and I wasn't able to draft him in any of my leagues, I believe I would have moved on by now. Unfortunately, there's the chance that in week 8 or whatever he's able to turn it around, but with this injury, it's a calf injury. In my opinion, it's going to continue lingering throughout the entire year. In my opinion, I am ready to move on from Burrow. I think he's incredible talent. I think he's going to have some good games here and there throughout the season. I think this is just not the Bengals' year.
Yep, they're going through a rough time right now. I agree wholeheartedly with what Reed said. I would trade him.
Yeah. Trade him while he's hot, because in a few more weeks, it's going to be even lower on people's expectations for Burrow this year.
Exactly.
Eric says, thanks. I appreciate the analysis. Hey, thank you for commenting and watching. If anybody in this is watching right now has not subbed, hit that sub button so you can continue to stay up to date with all of our live streams. And also, our Discord is in the link in the description. Please hit that. Join our Discord. If you like the analysis and the answers that we give to questions, we give even better in-depth analysis on our Discord. So please go ahead. Go to the description, join our Discord. Alex says, question, do I be that guy and start Dawson Kincaid in the flex over McLaughlin and Michael Wilson? Out of those two options, I would do it. Vincent, what do you think?
So, I've changed up my thought process on Michael Wilson since the beginning of this episode because he's growing on me a little bit. He's played against 2 tough defenses in Dallas and San Francisco, and he's put up 10 points against Dallas and 26 against San Francisco. Yes, that 26 is padded by 2 touchdowns, but having 10 and about 12 points in back-to-back weeks, catching all 9 targets. He went 2 for 2 against Dallas and 7 for 7 against the 49ers. I think his usage is going to stay pretty consistent around that 4 catches every game. And he has the possibility of scoring a touchdown. He's going against Cincy, who is not a good defense. I think I'm switching up and I'm saying Michael Wilson, even if some of those Cardinals wide receivers are getting a little bit more healthy. So call me biased because I like the points that he's putting up, but I'm all about consistency, and 3 weeks with 8, 10, and 12 without touchdowns added is pretty good to me at the flex position.
All right. Yeah. You heard it. I'm going Kincaid. He's going Michael Wilson. Reptile says, can you let me know if I made a good trade? I moved Puka for Kamara, then I flipped Kamara and threw in Richardson and got Bijan. Now I've got Bijan and a T. Pollard duo. If you guys have never watched The Office, or if you have, if you guys know that one episode where Dwight comes in with the smallest thing and then leaves with the telescope, he got the telescope, but then he got the beans. That's what I think that you just did here, in my opinion. Move Puka. We think he's one of the greatest rookies, wide receivers we probably have ever seen. But Cup is coming back. That hurts his things. You got Kamara. Then you flipped it and then threw in Richardson, which I'm okay with, in my opinion. As I would imagine you have another quarterback there. And then you now have Bijan and a T. Pollard duo. I think this is a huge win. And I'm very impressed with your skills as far as negotiating, Reptiles. Vincent?
Heck yeah, I agree. Moving from Puka, who possibly will lose a lot of production with Cup coming back, that's like one of the best moves I've seen in the comments section all season,
You
probably.
basically traded Puka and Richardson for Bijan. Like, I
Yep.
feel like you fleeced them.
Yep.
That's
Because quarterbacks are a dime a dozen right now,
Yep.
especially if you're in like a 10-man league. So pretty good. I like it.
Trick says, is Reynolds a must start with Amon and Gibbs out? They're
They're
trending
out.
to be out. I don't. I haven't got any notifications they are out, but
Gibbs is doubtful.
Doubtful. They're not 100% out. There's still that sliver of chance.
Amon-Ra is also doubtful already. So,
I think Reynolds should be a. It depends what your wide receivers also. I would need to know who your starters are or your rest of your roster to 100% say, oh yeah, 100% start Reynolds. Okay, but his trajectory as far as where it goes definitely goes up. And Vincent said earlier that he doesn't think Jameson Williams will get a lot of touches. I think he's due for a huge 60-yard touchdown, in my opinion. I would start him.
Yeah, but on one catch.
Yes, it's gonna be a one catch, but it's gonna be worth it. Okay. So I would need to know your whole roster. That's it.
Yeah, I think Reynolds for sure, especially at like the flex. But if you have other options, put them down in the comments. We'll look at them and we'll give you our best advice.
Cool. Reptile says, I meant move, not love. We knew what you meant. Reptiles is all good. Hunter says, rate the starting lineup in a 10-man league where I could improve other than tight end. Justin Herbert, Josh Jacobs, Swift, Kyren, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Jake Elliott, Lions defense. Vincent, how would you improve this team other than tight end?
Let's see. Oh, Reed, why other than tight end? I love tight ends.
Sorry, man.
Honestly, in my opinion, I'm not too sure how Nico Collins will do by the end of the season. I do like him right now, and I do like him for like possibly the next 5 to 6 weeks. But I think maybe in about 4 weeks, you should try to trade Nico Collins for like a big time receiver who is going to do good at the end of the year when the playoffs come. So you're always trying to get better. If anything, I really, really like your roster. I know for sure that you're winning unless you've had like some matchups where you lose by 1 point to like the highest scoring guy in the league that week. But I like it. I don't really think you should try to upgrade anything. I just don't know who your tight end is. I would love to know who your tight end is because I love giving tight end advice. But what do you think, Reed? Do you like this one too?
I think it's a very solid roster in my opinion. The only thing I would say, maybe try to find upgrades in the running back position. I maybe try to package Swift and Kyren for like a big name running back, maybe like a Bijan, Eckler, etc. I would try to throw those guys together and go after one of those guys.
Cool. I personally like Swift and Kyren, but
that's me.
I mean, to each their own.
Yeah. Mr. Trinkles says Olave at New England or Zay Flowers at Pittsburgh. That's a very good question. 0. Both of those defenses are bleeding as far as their defensive backfield. I'm going to go Olave at New England. Vincent?
Ooh. I was going to possibly go Zay Flowers on this one.
Wow. Okay.
Just because I think Pittsburgh is for sure the way worse defense. Okay. And we always say it, Bill Belichick always has something up his sleeve no matter who is injured, who's playing.
For sure.
Don't get me wrong, though. I'm starting Olave too because I still think he has great upside. But I think Zay Flowers, this is the game where he could possibly go freak mode out there, especially with Lamar Jackson, wanting to have a good game against Pittsburgh. Divisional game. Who knows?
All right. Reptile says, are the Jets a drop defense? In my opinion, no. I don't know off the top of my head how many points they've been getting, but as far as this week, they're going against the Broncos. So that should be one of your defenses you're trying to stream in this week, in my opinion.
After that, though, yeah, you can.
Okay. I don't know exactly what they had on top of my head, what they had been doing as far as points in fantasy. It's a good defense. It's just their offense puts them in absolutely terrible positions.
Yeah, so I agree with Reed here. I don't like their production too much because they haven't scored double-digit points since week 1 against the Buffalo Bills, and that one was like kind of an outlier game. So they're not a great defense. I think you could definitely get some better defenses out there, possibly even the Seahawks defense. Usually they're available. I'm a little bit biased because I am a Seahawks fan, but we have, in my opinion, a top 10 defense if you take away last week's game on Monday night. So, but yeah, I definitely think you can drop this defense and get a better one this week. They should do well against Denver and possibly get like 10 to 12 points, in my opinion. But after that, they have some really tough teams against Philly, against the Chargers, against Buffalo. So they have tough sledding within the next 6 weeks. So yeah.
All right. And just a quick disclaimer for everybody that is commenting. All right, if you put a comment in there that says, "Oh, okay, yes, hit the likes button and subscribe." But also, if you put a comment in there that says anything about like defecating in people's throats or whatever, I will ban you immediately and delete your comments. Okay, we've gone through this before of people trolling us. We're not doing it anymore. All right. So, Danny, I appreciate you tuning in, but we don't do those type of streams. All right.
Sounds good.
Jacob says PPR, Ayuk, Pacheco, Collins, or I can't believe I have to like put a disclaimer. Okay, sorry, Jacob. We're getting back to you. All right, man. Ayuk, Pacheco, Collins, or Mostert at flex. This is a very good problem to have.
I think we should just rank.
I'm gonna rule out. Okay, we're gonna rank. Okay, I'm putting Mostert at number 3, Pacheco at 4. I'm gonna go for this week. I'm gonna go Ayuk. I'm gonna put Ayuk at number 1, man. I think the Niners need to run through him. I'm gonna go. I gotta block another freaking.
It's okay. I think for me,
Ayuk. Yeah.
So you're going Ayuk, Collins,
Mostert, Pacheco.
Okay, I think for me, Mostert is last, just because of the H-Chan dilemma here. I think H-Chan is going to score a lot more points than Mostert, so Mostert's going to kind of get left to the side here. Could be a possibility where he scores a touchdown. Who knows? But for me, he's at 4. I think Pacheco is 3rd for me. I think Ayuk is 2nd, and I think Nico Collins this week is my number 1 because 49ers have a tough matchup against the Cowboys. I think they're going to rely on CMC. I think they're going to rely on Debo just because he is a rack yard type of guy, especially after contact. So, in my opinion, I think Ayuk will take the back seat to those two this week. So that's why I'm going Collins. I think Collins is my number 1 there. But I'll go ahead and go to the next comment. I don't know if you're banning people here.
I'm acting as a moderator right now.
Okay. So Jonathan Santiago, he says, trade CD for ETN and Garrett Wilson. I like it. CD hasn't impressed us to be like that top 5 type of wide receiver like everybody thought he was this season. So getting ETN, who is a very consistent running back, and Garrett Wilson, who's been a little sketchy but could still be consistent, is fine by me. I think you win that trade, even if it's just CD for ETN. But yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I like that trade as well. Victor wants to ask us Mostert or Waddle for this week. I'm on the Achon train right now, so I'm not on the Mostert train. I'm gonna go with Waddle out of these 2 options.
Yeah, I think I have to go Waddle here as well. I think he has a little bit more upside after coming back from injury. They want to utilize him because you might as well. Waddle's there. So I think Waddle will get some good yardage this week. Let's see. Next question. Alex Stivers, thanks for still being here throughout this long process that we've been going on for 2 hours. He says, I would have to start both Wilson and McLaughlin. So Kincaid or McLaughlin? Reed, I know you said Kincaid for someone else this past one. McLaughlin is this. I think he's the running back 2 for the Denver Broncos. Do you think that's a good one to start him over there?
I would say Kincaid over McLaughlin, but you don't expect like 10 points from Kincaid also.
Yeah, so if you want the higher upside, I think it's McLaughlin. He could get a touchdown, but if you want just the good, decent 6 to 7 points, I think that's Kincaid. Because McLaughlin could be totally overshadowed this game in the Broncos, because they might be trailing the entire game against the Jets. Who knows? But yeah, that's just my opinion there. And Reed thinks Kincaid, but I think I might go McLaughlin just for the upside. But yeah, so Joseph is our next question here. He says, Amon Ra, 3 straight missed practices, downgraded to doubtful, and the Twitter doctors out there speculating the hernia, but officially said we get more news in the next 24 hours.
Who are these Twitter doctors, man? They're just coming out of nowhere.
They come out of nowhere. I like it, though. I mean, it gives us more insight. So I definitely like seeing the medical side of things for football, just because I am looking to possibly go into the medical field as an occupational therapist. But yeah, I feel bad for Amon Ra if it's a hernia, because he might have to get surgery on it. And if not, he will be out for a couple of weeks trying to make sure that it heals properly. So yeah, bad. Reptiles Miami says, thanks, guys. I appreciate the kind words. This is actually my first year. I came in really not knowing anything about football. I hoarded quarterbacks Fields, Richardson, Goff, and Stroud and used them as bait. Hey, if it's your first year, I mean, that's a common mistake to hoard these new young quarterbacks. Goff's not young and new, but Richardson and Stroud it turned out well for you, because they could have been total dog dookie, but they ended up being some of the best running back or the quarterbacks in the NFL as of now for fantasy. So good job. It worked out for you. But next year, probably go running backs and wide receivers, because they're a little bit better with trade bait. Yeah. But yeah, good job, Reptiles.
All right. Alex says, speaking of tight ends, is commit a top 10 tight end option for the rest of the season, in your opinion? Vincent, tight end expert, what do you say?
Let's see. Commit. I like Commit. This past week, Reed left him on the bench. Dude, and I was very glad about it. I didn't have
time to set my lineup, all right? I'm busy at work.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. You still could possibly beat me, because you had freaking what's his face?
Fields? Or
no, you had the wide receiver.
DJ Moore?
DJ Moore. Yeah.
I started DJ Moore. Let's
you
go.
Did. So you just need to add in a tight end. So I was gonna tell you.
Yeah, I need to draft. I was gonna start commit, but I didn't have time.
I know. But yeah, anyways, I like Commit. He is a top 10 tight end in my eyes this year. He's been one of the quieter tight ends on fantasy, because nobody's really talking about him. But he's been doing well, especially when Fields has done well these past 2 games. He's like a crutch for the quarterback Fields, who needs to get the ball rolling, and he has. So for the rest of the season, though, I'm not 100% sure he's a solidified start, but definitely right now, until they start, getting back to being the Bears. But yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Oh, goodness, AJ. Oh, Mr. Prune.
Mr. Prune says, would you all rather your team drop 50 points or eat the new Chick-fil-A sandwich every day for a week? And AJ says, 50 points, hands down, Prune.
I don't think AJ's telling the truth on that one. He would hate that.
I would take the 50 points 100% over a lot of things. So that's what I have to say.
Huh. I don't know. I've never tried that sandwich, so who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe I like it. Sup, guys? I'm new here. Mr. Ruben Vega. Welcome to the podcast, man. We are a small channel, but we're trying to grow. So if you hit that subscribe button, we'd really appreciate it. and just keep coming back. We have some of the best fantasy advice in our opinion, and that's our not so pro opinion. So
All
welcome.
right. Alex says they did say he's going to see a large uptick in usage this week over last week, so I could see him actually splitting between Javonte and McLaughlin. What do you think, Vince?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much correct, especially with Javonte. He had a little bit of scare, had a little bit of an injury there, but he seems to be healthy, so I'm pretty sure they're going to slide him back in, making sure that that injury doesn't turn into a long-term injury. So look for McLaughlin to possibly play a little bit more. Yeah, it could be some good upside. Let's see. Next one here. Mr. Ruben Vega says, I benched Kyron for Wilson on my flex in my full PPR. Good move. I'm assuming that he's talking about Michael Wilson from the Cardinals. It could be a good move or it could not be. Kyron does have a tough matchup against Philadelphia, but he has been one of the hotter running backs in the league so far as a fantasy. So I think Kyron is a safer bet. Wilson is the more of the boomer bust type guy. So if you're looking for that sporadic type of points that Wilson could get, that's who you should play. But if you're looking for the safe option, I think that's Kyron, even against a tough Philly run defense. But yeah.
Cool.
Let's see. Going on to the next one here. Reptile says, how's my team looking for my first year? So let's see. First year moves over here. Stroud, Pollard, Bijan, however you want to say it. Cup. Oh, she's got Cup. Good job. Good late steal. McLaurin. Reed really likes McLaurin. I don't. But she got Kittle as her tight end. It's probably giving you some problems. Devontae Smith, Moody, the Ravens defense, Goff, Kyron Williams, Tank Dell, Jalen Reed, Amon Ra, and the Jets defense. So not too bad, but I definitely think you should drop the Jets defense for someone on the waiver wire, depending if they are there. But that's not bad, especially if that's the team that you drafted. I know you said you drafted 4 quarterbacks, so I know it's probably not, but still pretty good in my opinion. Reed, what do you think about it?
I think it's a very solid team. Definitely a team, in my opinion, you can win with. So, very nice.
Yep. Good job.
Connor says, need to trade for a running back to place Walker this week. This is my bench. Spears, who's starting. London, Sutton, Downs, Hubbard, Jay Smith, Woods. What type of combination could I put together to get a decent running back? Vincent, what do you got?
Oof. So if this is Robert Woods here, I know his production has really dropped. So I think he should definitely be in that trade. I'm not looking for you to get like a huge trade here. I'm probably looking for you to get someone like maybe Brian Robin, or he already played this week, so you can't do that. But honestly, I mean, you can get anybody at running back as long as they are not one of those top 10 type running backs. In my opinion, you could possibly go after someone like maybe an ETN, maybe a Ramondre Stevenson, possibly maybe even Mixon. Mixon has been doing good, but you could possibly package guys like Woods, Hubbard, or Woods and Sutton. I think possibly Woods and Sutton would get you that because Sutton has been doing pretty good. But even someone like a Dameon Pierce, he's going to possibly get like 10 points every week now going forward. And shoot for the stars, bro. Try to get like Madison if someone doesn't believe in him. Because I know there's quite a bit of guys in our league who don't believe in Madison playing on the Vikings type of offense. So you can definitely get some guys. I think it's definitely a possibility. Whatever you want to do with Sutton, maybe London and Woods. But yeah, it's just however your league wants to trade.
Cool. Jacob says traded Derrick Henry, DK, and Lamar Jackson for Josh Jacobs and CD, and then he got Stroud off the waiver. What do y'all think? In my opinion, I love it. CJ Stroud, we do predict that he's going to be good moving forward, but there's always that rookie rust that's going to be on him. Josh Jacobs and CD, I think, is a huge upgrade from Derrick Henry and DK. I overall like the trade or the move. What do you think, Vince?
So I don't like the trade, in my opinion. Derrick Henry is kind of making a resurgence, so I'm pretty sure you did this trade after he had that bad week. So that's why you possibly didn't get too much from this. But I think Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs are kind of averaging around the same points at this point in time. And Josh Jacobs is coming back from an injury. He did score a couple touchdowns this past game, so that's good for him. But can he keep up that production? Because we know that Derrick Henry can. DK Metcalf is a mid-tier type of receiver. I am a Seahawks fan, so I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So I'm not too mad that you got rid of him, but for me, it's the Lamar Jackson trade away, because you said that you got Stroud off the waivers. So I think you could have gotten Stroud off the waivers and still been the same type of team without trading away Lamar Jackson. That's just my opinion, though. I would have kept Henry and DK. Yes, Josh Jacobs is very enticing, and CD is playing like a mid-tier wide receiver, even though he's supposed to be a wide receiver 1. But yeah, that's just my opinion. It's not a bad trade, but I definitely don't think it was like, oh, you really won this trade, because you traded away 3 for 2 and then got a guy off the waiver wire. But yeah.
All right. Max says trade Cup, White, and Stevenson for Pollard and Ridley. Should I try to add Amari on my side for Olave on their side? So Cup, White, and Stevenson for Pollard and Ridley. I do not like that at all.
No.
If you're getting Pollard and Ridley, which I assume from the way you phrase it, that is really bad in my opinion. Cup, he's coming up back from injury. White and Stevenson, they're going to be great down the stretch. And then Amari for Olave. I kind of say it was a little bit of a lateral move. I would say, I think you're fine. I wouldn't do this trade.
Yeah, I think you're giving up too much if you want to do this trade, because White and Stevenson, nobody is taking any production from those guys on their team. Cup, yes, he's coming into a really, really heavy passing team, so he could get the production back that he was getting last year, or he could not, and maybe Puka's the new star on that team. But I still think doing the 3 for 2, especially with all number 1 starters, is a bad move, especially because Ridley is not producing at this point in time. Yes, good week 1 game, but after that, what does he have to show,
Yeah.
So I say no.
I would say this is a bad trade.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to jump to the comments just so really quickly. Connor says, appreciate the advice, guys. I just subbed. Hey, appreciate you, Connor, man. Thank you for subbing. Guys, if you have not yet hit that sub button, it helps us out so much. We are on our goal to reach 1,000 subs. Hopefully, we're going to try to hit it before the end of this NFL season, and that is our goal. But we just passed 500. It costs you nothing to hit the sub button, and it keeps you informed on everything that we do. So we'd really appreciate it if you could. Where were we? Right here. All right. Matt says, I started to commit this week. Unfortunately, had B-Rob, Dotson, B mid. Dang.
Yeah, I saw that.
Reptiles says, flip spot Kyron, Devontae Smith, or Tank Dell. I'm going to go Kyron here. Vincent?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a ranking because I kind of like all of these people in the flex position. But since you have so many good ones, I'm going Kyron, Devontae Smith, and then Tank Dell. Just because I think Tank Dell has good upside, but Nico Collins is taking away a lot of that upside. So yeah, pretty good problems to have.
All right, AJ Alvarado. I don't know who this guy is. He's looks a little funny in that picture, in my opinion. He says, do I start JT Myers or pick up Reynolds? I'm cursed, and I doubt ARSB plays. Out of those 3, I'm going to play Myers, in my opinion. Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, I'd probably go Myers and then... Oh, he says, or pick up Reynolds. Yeah, I think I'd stick with Myers. If you can pick up Reynolds too, though, that'd be cool, especially since we are hearing a lot of rumors here that Amon-Ra could have a hard injury there. with the hernia. So hopefully it's not a hernia, but if it is, Josh Reynolds is possibly sliding into that wide receiver 2/wide receiver 1 type of production. So yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see.
All right. Ruben Vega says Garrett Wilson, correcting us when we thought it was Michael Wilson, I believe. LOL, it's tempting because of matchup, but Zach only had one good week as quarterback. Yeah, the whole Jets offense, other than Brees Hall, in my opinion, it's just up in the air with Zach Wilson. That 1 week he was good, was technically last week. So hopefully you would hope that trend continues. But you just don't know exactly if he can consistently play like that. And nothing we have ever seen from Zach Wilson is this is his third year now, can tell us like, hey, yeah, he can be consistently bad, most likely, if you want to say consistent. So yeah, the whole Garrett Wilson thing, you're throwing it up from half court, in my opinion. Either it's going to be a 0 point doink, or you're going to get 10 plus points.
Cool.
All right. Big Taco says Thielen or D-Hop PPR. In my opinion, I'm going D-Hop here.
You are. I mean,
I'm not a Thielen guy, man. He's old.
I know.
His bones are about to turn into dust, man.
But he's been doing so good, Reed.
I don't believe in it, man. I stick to my guts.
Because look, let me tell you what D-Hop has been scoring, and maybe I can change you.
My guts say, Vincent.
No, Reed. Let me show you these numbers, okay? Week 1 for D-Hop, 13. Week 2, 8. Week 3, 7. Week 4, 10 points. Now let's go to Adam Thielen. Week 1, 3. Yes. Week 1, you were correct. Week 2, 20. Week 3, 31. Week 4, 15. All of them, he's had 7+ catches in. Thielen it is for me. Reed, did I change your mind?
I don't believe in it.
Oh my goodness.
Fake numbers, fake news.
Goodness. Yeah, in my opinion,
it's just a gut feeling I have.
Oh, but it's not the Spidey sense.
It's just not a Spidey sense, okay?
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Oh, come on, man. Don't do that to me. All right. Alex Smith says start 3 PPR. He's got Kyren Williams, Kamara, ETN, Swift, or Waddle. Okay, we got to pick 3 here. Jeez. Kamara, I think 100% you got to throw him in there. ETN in there. I kind of want to just go Swift right there. Kyren, I think he has a tough matchup. And then Waddle, there's just too many people on that Dolphins offense that are feeding. The 2 people I'm betting on the Dolphins offense is Achane and Tyreek Hill. Waddle, I think he's great, but I can't put it on like my money on it, you know. So I'm gonna go Kamara, ETN, and then Swift.
Nice. Before I say my answer, I see that we have a lot of people coming in to watch us here. So if you are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there. We would really appreciate it. We are doing a big giveaway on Monday for all of our subscribers. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button and be there, and you have your chance to win an autograph. Is it an autographed jersey that we ordered, Reed?
It's either a football helmet, football, or jersey. It's one
jersey.
Of those 3.
Okay. So yeah, it's a signed memorabilia from a current star playing in the NFL. So you have the chance to get something really, really good. AJ has not revealed it to us. But yeah, we'll go ahead and see what it is on Monday. But yeah, now to my answer here. I agree with you wholeheartedly, Reed. I think Kamara, ETN, and Swift is the safest answer here. Especially since Waddle's coming back from injury and Kyren Williams has a tough matchup. Nice.
All right. Real quick before we get to Matt's question, I just want to let everybody know there is a lot of questions. We do get to every single comment eventually, but we like to answer every question fully. All right. Go ahead, Fitz.
All right. He says, I don't know why Pollard is so expensive when he has no RB2s, as he was a Chubb owner. Huh. Not too sure what he means there. His running back 2 and 3 is Jaleel and Breida. Oh, he's talking about the guy he's trying to trade with.
Yes.
Okay, I get you. So, yeah, honestly, Pollard is just consistent. That's why he's going to be expensive. He's probably just doesn't want to give him away. So you're going to have to pay up big stuff to let him, or to steal Pollard away from him. So he's having some running back troubles. That's why I think he's trying to go big or go home. So
Cool. Tingley says, hey yo to you, sir. Start 2, Kamara, A-Chain, Etienne, and Pacheco. Full P. I would imagine PPR, but your spell check took you to pot. I don't know what's going on there, buddy.
Yeah, he has it around here. Yeah, PPR.
But out of 2 here, I'm gonna go with Sean, and then I'm stuck in between Kamara and Etienne. Vincent, what are you thinking?
Dude,
Can you decide for me?
On my gut decision, I want to go Kamara just because I've been stashing him. I've been stashing him for 2 weeks, and having the performance that he had last week, I think it's a pretty safe bet because they're going to use him. They have to.
They have to. That arm of Derek Carr is not fully healed yet. I think I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go with the Tron and Kamara.
I think they just have the highest upside. I think they can both get 20 points. That's why I think this is why I'm picking them. ETN, possibly get 15 points, most likely just 10. Pacheco, same thing. I'm just trying to go for the boom here, and I think that's Kamara and A-Chan. However it is, yeah.
All right, I'm Jedi says, hey, y'all, should I trade Bijan for Ayuk and Kyron? My team is Herbert, Walker, Bijan, Keenan, Amon-Ra, Mike Evans, Jerry Jeudy, Pacheco, and a bunch of handcuffs. 10-man PPR, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex. 3 wide receivers. So wide receiver is huge. So I kind of understand you want to get Ayuk. I'm huge on Ayuk. So much I even stopped calling him Ayuk. That's how much.
Yeah, he did. Herbert and Walker with Bijan. Keenan, Amon-Ra, and Mike Evans. Jerry Jeudy.
I think you could get more for Bijan. I think you could get a little bit more for Bijan. Am I right here?
I mean, Kyron is kind of almost to a Bijan level as of points in some weeks.
For sure.
But
the way people think of him, This
is true. I do think he can get someone a little bit better, but again, it's just depending on.
I think it's a good trade. If that's all you can get, I would say yes.
Yeah.
But I think you can get a little bit more out of somebody else.
Yeah, because especially since Ayuk is either going to be a really boom type player that's going to get you 20 plus points, or he could be a guy who gets you 6 to 10. It just depends on how they're going to use him that week against the matchups. Because they have a lot of mouths to feed there for the 49ers. So, yeah, I definitely think you can get a little bit more. Get someone who's more consistent, in my opinion, for Bijan.
All right, we're going to quickly jump to the comments again. AJ says, did I hear you guys are doing a giveaway? AJ, we've been talking about the giveaway for a little bit now, right, man? But if you guys, this first time you've hearing about it, on Monday we're going to be releasing a giveaway that we are going to be doing because we hit 500 subscribers. So all you need to do, we'll release the full details, but the one thing you have to do to be able to enter that giveaway is be subscribed to this channel, Not So Pro Football Talk. So please, if you have not dropped that sub button yet, go ahead and do it. All right, so Patty says, PPR need a boom. Wandale or Dale? Vincent, tell you got opinions here. Say them, man.
I know, man. I really like Tank Dell just because of what he's been doing, but I just don't think after Nico Collins had like 3 back-to-back really, really good games, basically, I don't think Tank Dell has that kind of boom anymore. Yes, it's either like 5 points or it's either 20 to 25 points, but I don't think Wandale can get it for you. So I think you have to go Tank Dell here, but you really have a really high chance of just getting like 5 points for both of them. But I guess Tank Dell is the only guy who you can actually see booming. So that's why I'm making the hard decision here and telling you Tank Dell.
All right. Really quickly, I also want to say we do get to every single comment. We just make sure we put all our effort into answering the question fully, and that's why we take some time sometimes, but we will get to your question, all right? I guarantee you that. All right, Patty says, should I look to trade away either Amon Ra or Aaron Jones or no? So Amon Ra, I kind of understand why, because that the Twitter doctors are telling you that it's a hernia and it might be long term, whatever. I wouldn't just jump on that train just yet. Aaron Jones, in my opinion, he's just coming off of that injury. As long as he stays healthy the rest of the year, he's going to be a must start every single week. I would not trade away Aaron Jones, in my opinion. I am a Packer fan, so I am biased, but I think everybody else that is on this channel, Vincent, AJ, who's not here, would agree with me about not trading away Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I would keep them. They're two studs. Yes, they're injured, but when they come back, they're going to be studs. So you got to keep them. All right, Avery, we finally got your comment. No more waiting. But yeah, just be patient with us, guys. We try our best to elaborate as much as we can, give you the best advice. We don't want to just get your comment and be like, yeah, this, that. Next comment, this, that. Like we're passionate about this stuff. So we really want to give you the best that we can. Go ahead, Reed.
Avery Yee says, do you think I trade CMC, Pacheco, Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, and Justin Fields for Justin Jefferson, Pollard, Zay Flowers, and Jordan Love? I have CD Lamb and DK Metcalf too. Thank you. Okay, this is a absolute...
Jeez. It's a big trade.
This is a humongous trade.
It's like team swap.
Let's break it down one more time. I'm going to read through them. CMC, Pacheco, Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, and Justin Jefferson. They are going to trade away for getting Justin Jefferson, Pollard, Zay Flowers, and Jordan Love. Jordan Love is an upgrade from Justin Fields. Zay Flowers is maybe a little bit lower than Amari Cooper. Pollard is above Pacheco. And Justin Jefferson, I don't like trading away CMC. That's my problem here. Justin Jefferson, I love. I think he's on the same level as CMC. But it's a 5 for 4.
Yeah. That's my problem here, especially since he's trading away CMC. I think if you could possibly get this by taking out Pacheco and I think if you take out Pacheco and CMC and you don't go for Justin Jefferson, I know he's very enticing, but if you can get Pollard, Zay Flowers, and Jordan Love by only trading away Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, and Justin Fields, I think it's a good trade for you because you keep CMC, you keep Pacheco, who are going to be starters on your team for the rest of the season, and you get Pollard in that trade. That's a triple-headed monster at running back position. And you get Zay Flowers, who is playing decent. You get Jordan Love, who is very, very consistent at the quarterback position. So, yeah, in my opinion, I'll say it again. You get Pollard, Zay Flowers, and Jordan Love. You give away Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, and Justin Fields. I think that's the way you win this trade. You could switch out Garrett Wilson for Pacheco, but I'm telling you, having a three-headed monster at running back is the best thing, especially with how little running backs there are that are really good. So just trying to help you win this trade. I don't think you should ever give up CMC until he, returns to being Mr. Glass.
Oh. All right. So next question, we got Kittle or Andrews. I'm going to say 100%. Kittle is inconsistent, great tight end, but I'm going to go Mark Andrews here.
Same.
All right, easy one. Thank you very much for the comment, though. Jenna Ann says, I put my league lineups in the Discord. I put it under fantasy football for the trades and stuff. All right, we are not going to dive into all of that because we have a lot of comments in the live right now, but we will definitely be looking at that. AJ Alvarado, our big man host, will definitely be looking at that for you, Jenna, and answering all your questions. All right. But yeah, anybody else that wants to join our Discord and get that type of analysis, that in-depth analysis, please go to our description, join our Discord, and we'll love to break down your fantasy teams for you. Ruben says, appreciate you guys. I'm a sub for sure. I appreciate that, Ruben. Thank you very much. As I said, we are a small channel trying to grow to 1,000 subscribers. Anything you guys can give us, a view, a comment, a sub, we very much appreciate. Will you guys be live before kickoff tomorrow? I do not think so. We do not have that planned. I am planning on sleeping, as I've had about 12 hours of sleep these past 3 days. So I am going to say no for that, especially for me. But we will be going live Monday just for Overreaction Monday, talking about the week. Tuesday, we'll be doing our waiver wire fantasy live at both of those are 6:30. And then we have other videos coming out throughout the week. So please hit that sub button, as you said you are, and we will definitely you'll stay up to date. All right. That's Avery says, why do I feel like CMC will get injured sometime soon? Hey, I've been kind of feeling that also this past week, man. I don't know what it is. I'm not trying to put that bad juju out there for him. AJ, if he was here, our 49ers fan, he would definitely be like, hey, you shut your mouth, Avery. You got to stop it. But definitely, I understand where you're coming from with that. And with that, I unfortunately need to leave, Vincent. I need to go back to work so I can finish up my stuff and then go to sleep tonight. So I'm going to pass off the baton. Vincent, here you go, man. Thank you guys. There you go. Thank you guys so much for commenting and everything. I'll see you guys on Monday. All right.
Sounds good. Alrighty, guys. Let me go ahead and fix this screen because I do not like the way it is. Nope, not that one either. I don't know. I'll fix it later, but I don't like it just being me. I like our background being back there, so I might just have to figure that out while I'm answering y'all's questions. But Avery, yes, there's a possibility, but we don't like putting that bad juju out there. So I think CMC should stay healthy the way that they're using him, because he's only played one game where he's played all the offensive snaps. But yeah, who knows? We don't know. Only the fantasy, experts out there can see when something is happening like that. But that's not us. We can't divulge any information off of that. So yeah, Ruben Vega has a question mark. Don't know why, but we'll go ahead and see down here. Let's see, Jacob Dameron. I don't know how you're saying your last name, but we're going to call you Jacob. So he has Collins, Pacheco, Mostert, Christian Watson, and Madison on his bench. What trades could you make for a better quarterback? He has Stroud in PPR. Honestly, man, I think Stroud is one of the best quarterbacks at this point in time for fantasy in PPR, just because he does have that running ability. He doesn't run too often, but he's just been playing really good, averaging about 20 points in the last 3 weeks. But if you do want a better quarterback at the position, honestly, the only other guy I would think you should go after is possibly Jalen Hurts and maybe even Lamar Jackson, because he does have that upside to get a lot of points. So if you do want to trade for some guys like that, I think I'm going to have to say you're going to have to trade away some big type of guys, because nobody's going to want to trade away, a quarterback that gives them 25 plus points almost every single week. So in my opinion, if you have Collins and you don't need him, I think Collins is a really good start on how to get one of those quarterbacks. So in my opinion, I think I would go Collins and Christian Watson, because Christian Watson right now has not produced as much, but he has the high upside of getting a lot of touchdowns. So in my opinion, I think I'm going to go Collins and Christian Watson. The only reason I don't go with the running backs is because running backs are really hard to come by right now at this point in time in the NFL. So having Madison and Mostert and Pacheco on your bench is really, really good. But if you would want to get rid of a running back and not two of your wide receivers who are on your bench, I would say I would get rid of Mostert right now, because what we've been seeing on this channel is that Mostert is not going to be the running back one anymore. It's going to be a 2-back committee because Achane is the real deal. So yeah, that's my thoughts there. Sorry the other guys aren't here to fill in on that, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So we got Tingley back here again. He says start one at the flex: Etienne, Pacheco, Flowers, and Tank Dell. In my opinion, your safe bet here is Etienne or Pacheco because those guys could get you 10 to 15 points. If you want the boom, you got to go Flowers, in my opinion, because he could have a really big game since the Ravens are going against the Steelers. So, in my opinion, Etienne, Pacheco safe, Flowers for the big boom or bust. So, yeah, that's just what I'm thinking there. But yeah, Tingley, let's go ahead and see your other comment. He says, feel like Jedi could get a better receiver for Bijan. Yeah, and that's what we said too. So he said, Avery says, thank you, my bad. Don't worry about it, man. We just like to help as many people as we can. And sometimes we do have a lot of comments going on. So it's hard to get to your comment very fast. But thank you for being here. Hopefully you can subscribe and you can be here on Monday to possibly win that giveaway, guys. So Andrew Guyman says Collins or Dale this week. Also, I got offered Mostert for Stevenson. Let me know what y'all think. So, in my opinion, I think I'm going Collins. I think he is still the wide receiver 1, and Tank Dell has taken that backseat at the wide receiver 2 position. So, I think Collins will be the guy going forward. Is that possibly going to change later in the season? Possibly, just because this entire team is young and they're still trying to find out who that solidified star is. But at this point in time, being the Texans are my second favorite team in the NFL, and so I follow some of their news. Collins seems to be the guy there. He's going to be their future along with CJ Stroud, and I think that's just how it's going to play out. But that's my Not So Pro opinion. If you think differently, you think Tank Dell is still possibly fighting for that wide receiver 1 position, you can start Tank Dell if that's what you really like. But let's see. We got Shea Solo over here, Laporta, or Andrews. In my opinion, I really like Laporta, and I think that he could possibly keep up everything that he's been doing. I know they're going up against Carolina, so he's going to feast. He's going to feast. The Lions are going to feast against the Panthers. Now, my only thing is, so are the Ravens against the Steelers. So this one is just a toss-up. In my opinion, I think starting both of them are going to be a fine move. If you have a flex position where you can play the tight end as well, I would not be opposed to starting both Laporta and Andrews because they're going against 2 defenses who are not very good against tight ends. So if you can possibly play them both, play both. But if you have to choose one, I think I'm going with the younger guy here in Laporta, being that he plays a lot more snap percentage than Andrews does. So that's just my opinion here. If you think different, go with what your gut says. But my gut says Laporta if I was in that situation. Too Loved MC says Laporta or Ingram. Same thing that I just said right now to Shea Solo or Shea Solo. Laporta. Laporta's been that guy, and he's going to continue to be that guy. He's playing like 80% of the snaps right now, and he's getting a lot of targets. So, in my opinion, I think he's the best bet here, especially against Carolina this week. Let's see. Tingley says, do y'all rate teams? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We have a Discord down in the description. So if you follow that link, go ahead and join there and post your team, and we'll rate it on our Discord channel. You can put it in any of the tabs, but I believe the tab that we talked about earlier, let's see. I think it was Jenna here. She said she put it in the fantasy football tab. So go ahead and put it there, and we'll go ahead and rate your team or any team that you think we should rate from your opponents as well. So Brandon Rogers is here again. What's up, Brandon? How you doing, man? He says, yes, sir. What's good? Nothing much, man. Just doing it solo currently just because the guys has some stuff to do, and I'm the only one available at this time. But let's see. He says, should I play a tight end as a flex? Don't have many good starting running backs available. Yeah, man. Who are your tight ends? I'll go ahead and tell you, as I am the fantasy tight end guy here. So yeah, if you have multiple tight ends who are possibly getting you 8 to 10 points a week, I think they're fine to start in the flex. So go ahead and believe in your tight ends, guys, especially when we have a lot of good running backs on the bye right now. Tingley says Laporta could be a better matchup with Amon-Ra being out. Also a very good take there. Yes, I did not say that, but yeah, Tingley, I think you're correct. Can't go wrong with either Laporta or Andrews, though. Exactly. Let's see. So we got Jesus Carrillo. Jesus, I don't know if you're new here, but usually two other guys are accompanying me here, and their names are Reed and AJ, but they are busy currently. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We give all our fantasy advice here as well in our Discord that is also in the description. So thank you for being here. Let me get to your questions right now. So he says, I have Pollard, Mostert, Swift. Oh, he said Mostert again, but JT, Zach Moss, and Pierce. I am thinking about trading Swift and Sutton for CeeDee Lamb. Do y'all think that's a good trade? In my opinion, right now, since you have Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss, I think you need to throw him in a trade because you need to get rid of him. Jonathan Taylor, they just paid him 3 years, $42 million. They're going to play this guy even if he's terrible. So Zach Moss is a guy you need to get off your roster. I think if you can package Mostert and Zach Moss and still get CeeDee Lamb, I think that's a win. Because what I'm assuming is you're trying to trade to a guy who is in a running back drought. So in my opinion, trade away two of the guys who are possibly losing all their production right now. Zach Moss is losing it to JT, and Mostert is losing it to Achane. So go ahead and try to get those guys off your roster and get someone who is actually going to get you points in CeeDee Lamb. So that's the good trade I think you should do. If someone's being really, really stingy, you can go ahead and do Mostert and Pierce because Pierce is a little bit better at the running back position. But yeah, that's all I think you should trade away. If not, I think you should hold on to these guys until you find a better trade where you win outright. So he says he's in a 10-man league. He has Jay Jettis, Godwin, Sutton, and Thomas as wide receivers. He wants to upgrade to get a solid second option. So yeah, man. What I said right now, I think that's your best bet. You know, even if you don't get CeeDee Lamb, you can possibly get someone else like maybe Devontae Smith from another person, or maybe even someone like Keenan Allen who hasn't been doing so hot after that 41-point game. But yeah, just go after whoever you think is the best bet. Maybe even Olave is there. Maybe even let's see, DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf could be another guy, as well as DJ Moore, who just had a really big game. So that one might be harder to trade for, but possibilities are endless, especially when you have so many good running backs to trade. But Brandon Rogers says Zach Ertz is who I have on my roster and Schultz. Well, I haven't really liked Schultz's production, but I know he did just get a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken, in one of these past games. Yes. And that's really the only reason Schultz had a good week. In my opinion, Schultz is not a very good tight end to play. I'm not too sure, Brandon, if you're talking about one of our leagues, but there are still some good tight ends out there who are producing more than Schultz. And I think you should have some of those guys in your flex if you want to. But he says, should I also start Kittle or Schultz? In my opinion, Kittle doesn't do great, but I think this week might be a week where he does, especially against a tough Cowboys defense where they're going to be playing the wide receivers a little bit tougher. So I think Kittle could have a better week this week and not score just 2 points. Maybe he even has consideration in scoring a touchdown. But that's up for you to go ahead and interpret, just because I'm not the 49ers expert here. AJ is, but he's not currently here. So I wouldn't mind starting Kittle if I had the opportunity to start him as well as Ertz. So I think those are two good guys, especially when you're having trouble right now filling that flex position because of bye weeks and injuries. But yeah, guys, I've finally gotten through all the comments. So if you have any last minute comments before I end this live, go ahead and put them down there. But I just want to go ahead and say this for whoever is watching. We are having a giveaway on Monday, and all you have to do is be subscribed, and you can be entered into this giveaway. So go ahead and come in on our live on Monday, hit that subscribe button, go down in our description and join our Discord so we can continue these conversations after these lives are done. But other than that, guys, I do have one more comment from Brandon here. He says, I'm nervous this week because I'm already down 30 points, but none of my people have left. Well, yeah, man, I'm nervous also. I think Reed, who I think you work with, he had DJ Moore, and he scored quite a bit of points on me. So I'm pretty scared too that I'm down because of that. But it is what it is. Hopefully your guys overproduce because sometimes that happens. Some of his guys might underproduce and yours overproduce, and you still end up getting the win. It is what it is. But yeah, Tingley's got one more. He says, I got the Bills D, but Lions on the waivers. Should I drop a player from bench such as Charbonnet and Warren to pick up the Lions D? In my opinion, I know the Bills are going up against a tougher matchup this week. Let me go ahead and see where it is at. Against the Jaguars. It's not the toughest one that they're going to see this year, so I think you should be fine having the Bills defense in there. I know the Lions are enticing. They're playing the Panthers. But you have to look up at the matchups that are happening after this week because you don't want to give up a defense and then you have to pick them back up. And that's why I think you should keep the Bills because in week 6, they play against the New York Giants, who are also very bad against good defenses. So I think the Buffalo Bills is a good one to just, keep on your roster. Go with them this week because you're going to end up using them next week. And you don't want to lose Charbonnet, who is an up-and-coming running back, as well as Warren, who is also a good running back too, who gets 50% of the snaps. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I would not drop any of those guys and just play it out with the Bills defense. I think they can still get you at least 10 to 12 points, and their high upside is about 20 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. He says, asking because Lions D has been ranked higher this week in matchups. Yeah, they're ranked higher, but again, you have to think for the future. I think holding on to the Bills for week 6, possibly even week 7 against the New England Patriots is the best thing. But yeah, thanks for the stream. Appreciate the insights. Of course, that's what we do here. Avery has this one last question that I'm going to go ahead and take, and then I'm going to go ahead and end this right here. He says, should I choose Pacheco, Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, Justin Fields for Pollard, Love, and Flowers? So honestly, my guy, I think this one's a little bit better, but I don't know why you're trying to give 4 for 3. Try to do 3 for 3. Take out Amari Cooper. See if you can just do Pacheco, Garrett Wilson, and Justin Fields for that trade. Because I think it's a pretty even trade just like that. I still think it's a little bit towards you who's winning. So I understand why you're putting Amari Cooper in there, but I feel more comfortable going 3 for 3. But if you like this 4 for 3 a lot, go ahead and do it. I think you're still winning by getting Pollard, who's very consistent, Jordan Love, who's very consistent, and Flowers, who has that big boom type of ability. Amari Cooper also has that type of ability. That's why I think you should keep him. But if you're fine with trading him away, you can go ahead and do this. But I think you're just giving up too much. So that's just my opinion. But all right, guys, thank you so much. As we always say here on the podcast, join our Discord. Make sure you show up to all of our lives. Subscribe, hit the like button. And, of course, keep on grinding, guys. Thanks for coming.